Stocks back to the downside here this morning so far as we get going on a Monday. We're dealing with a little bit of uncertainty once again, both on the economic side of things and also on individual stocks. That's a look at Snapchat right now. Big move here in the pre-market. They have unveiled their latest glasses, smart glasses. So Snapchat taking out the highs as we speak. Everyone talking about Oracle, though. Looks like Oracle has officially secured the U.S. rights to TikTok. We've given back most of this pre-market move so far, but Larry Ellison, there's a group of investors, Andreessen Horowitz involved, a couple other people as well, but officially now the White House coming out this morning saying they have secured the U.S. rights to TikTok. There's still some question marks around this. However, I think it's going to be interesting how they package this because from what I hear, it's still going to include the algorithm, the Chinese algorithm, but they're going to be able to somehow pull out the U.S. data, which Oracle will secure within the country, and then everyone will be able to use the platform as it is. So as you were saying, going back to last week, people may have to download a new app and start the process again, but overall, a win here for Oracle.
Yeah, it feels like that, Brendo. I mean, every time they're expanding their moat, not just in cloud and AI, but in this deal as well. Many other people expected to take part as well. Dell, as well as some of the Murdochs as well. So we'll keep an eye out on that. We'll have to see how comprehensive the deal ends up being. But there's a whole lot to talk about today, guys. Good morning. Meta in focus as it got a U.S. government contract for its Llama LLM. Kenvue as well in focus as the Trump administration reportedly looking to make ties or link autism with Tylenol use during pregnancy, and crypto market selling off aggressively over the weekend. Brendo and Tesla getting a nice price target boost by Piper Sandler to 500. Can't hurt when Elon Musk and Donald Trump are sitting next to one another, rekindling that friendship, so to speak. And then BYD no longer being held by Berkshire Hathaway. The Charlie Munger inspired acquisition is no longer.
I mean, that stock's had a huge run, so I mean, it was definitely a decent trade for them. Oracle also announcing this morning, this is going back probably 10, 15 minutes ago, they're promoting their president of cloud infrastructure, Clay Magarick, and Industries Mike Cecilia to co-CEOs of the company. Safra Katz, current CEO, will serve as executive vice chair of the company, according to CNBC. So that actually kicked off that down move there on Oracle stock, but still nice move both after the close yesterday and then here this morning. We're giving some of that, or going back to Friday, I should say, we're giving some of that back here so far this morning. More interesting economic data to consider this week as well. We'll get a look at GDP, both sides of the border. Canadian GDP coming up as well. So a lot of eyes going to be glued to that, coming off the back of what we had last week with a look at inflation that, I mean, it was kind of, nor here nor there. It didn't really solve anything or answer any questions, I think, for a lot of people going forward. Worth noting the long end of the curve, yield curve this morning, back to the upside, which is not good.
And the 10-year defending that 4% like a glove, Brendo. I mean, here it is. The futures, the 10-year yield really bouncing off that 4%. We held it for several days last week. Now moving up a little, Brendo, here. 4.1.5.
Yeah, not helping overall for the market. Let's look at the Nasdaq right now. A bit of a gap to the downside. Neil with the day off today. Obi's in. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday.
Good morning. Oh, I got them connected. Hey, good morning. We don't have production over here on our screen, so I don't know to let people know about that because we cannot see. Snapchat up 9% last week. Obi, hey, how's it going, by the way?
Not too bad. How are you?
It's good to have you. And good. My voice is. I feel fine, but I lost my voice. We were at hockey all weekend and everything.
A lot of yelling.
So
how was that?
I forgot to put the makeup on my face today too. Oh my God. Good. They lost, but it was fine. It was a fun time, and the kids got to hang out together and do. All swimming in the pool, and they did this air zone thing where they were all flying around and had cool. So there's like a team building weekend and stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun. NFL didn't go good. My Green Bay Packers lost for some reason. I know. I didn't even really look at the highlights last night. Didn't get it until pretty late. So, we're doing that, and now we're doing big things here in the market. Neil's not in today. He'll be in tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Perhaps. Hopefully.
He said he went portaging.
Yeah. He went portaging. Yeah. He went. No, he didn't. He went. No, he didn't. He went out east to see his brother.
Sorry. No. You know what? It was Jose. Jose went portaging.
Yeah, Neil's not doing no portaging.
Never mind.
Yeah. So there's that, and we're glad to have you back in. But yeah, Snapchat. We were talking about this last week, and I was like, this is a good play from 7 to 850.
Yeah, look at it go.
Okay,
so much more room as well. It could still, like, look at that 1080. Like,
I know, there's still lots of potential here. There's lots of potential to get right back up to the upside again there for Snapchat. So there it goes. Nice play there. We talked about the augmented glasses. I was talking about this with my kids when it got released. I was like, you may remember that Meta, obviously in the game now, but Snapchat was one of the first ones to start talking about stuff like that. So but anyways, as we go. So that's what I'm looking at there today. Tesla 430 right now, starting to go higher there as well as this stock getting upgraded. And then if my charts want to get upgraded as well, there they go, up 1% here. Nasdaq downside, crypto downside as well. I hope everyone had a great weekend. You do anything?
Just hung out with the boys. It was Yanni's birthday on Saturday.
Okay.
Had like a barbecue party. Got to see all the boys and old faces from the trading floor. We got to see Ian, Max, Spencer came through. Adam was there, so it was a great get together once again. Of course, Prad was there.
Yeah, good.
Wayne, of course, was there as well. So it was a great time. A lot of fun. It was good.
Oh, Randy, you see, I just put a message in. We do not have production there anymore, so that's going to be a big problem. I just put it into Mark and to Rob as well. All right, well, that's fun. Oh, now we got some peaches here. Favorite fruit?
Kiwi.
Ooh, kiwi.
Yeah.
I like kiwi. It takes a little bit of work. You got to peel it, and then it gets the juicy ones.
I mean, sometimes you can eat it.
Yeah, I know you can. I know. Yeah.
But it's much better with it.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I like the peaches are good these days. If you get a good one from Niagara there, so that's good. So. All right, let's go back over to the desk here and let's see what those guys are doing. But it sounds like a fun weekend there.
Yeah, it was great.
Nice to see the boys. That's for sure.
Showing some love for Pride. Love it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, one person, yeah. All right, let's go back over to the desk.
All right, we're going to get Michael Lawson here and get a check of what we should expect as far as the short side of things. Every Monday he likes to join us, talk a little bit about the what traders are shorting. Just seeing a note here on Netflix. Netflix and Anheuser-Busch InBev, BUD, announcing today a global partnership. So NFLX and BUD. Netflix was a little bit strong on Friday, not really doing anything here. On that note this morning, BUD, same story. A little bit strong on Friday, not really doing anything here this morning. I mean, we're at that kind of point in time once again where we're between earnings. Yeah. We're past the Fed, we're past jobs data, we're past inflation data. Yeah. So it's that week or so where we get nonstop. I was just counting. There's 5 Fed speakers today. So we get nonstop comments on the economy from Fed speakers, but there's nothing really to sink your teeth in as far as facts.
No. The only really major headline, Brendo, from the weekend is the H-1B visa change with $100,000 being pegged. My spidey sense says this has something to do with the India negotiations because 71% of H-1B visa users or applicants or people who successfully get it come from India. Yeah. So it's really no surprise that comes in now. Now, it had been initially during the initial early stages of the Trump administration, this was in focus as, sort of there were two sides, people looking like Elon Musk, who said the program is very good, it really helps American tech advance, and some others who will say, look, it's taken from American jobs, so sort of a middle ground here, not to ban it outright, but to look to generate revenue from it. I'd like to see how the Indian government, in negotiations with the U.S. on the trade deal, responds to this. Now we know that Donald Trump added another 25% tariffs to the initial 25, so with a total of 50 on most Indian goods, Brendo. So the MEG will be in view today as, sort of puts a bit of a top on their ability to bring in talent from outside.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to come into play with the China negotiations as well on that front. So we'll see how that plays out. Here's Tesla. If you go to a daily chart, we're basically right now, this recent high, 432.75. Positive note here again this morning for Tesla.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Brendo. It got upgraded today from our very good friends at Piper Sandler, and they like it to the tune of $500. They're noting, you know, that Chinese EV makers are looking to Tesla as the standard, whether in physical AI or in as well as manufacturing and AI tech-driven units. Piper is forecasting better than expected deliveries, Brendo, for Q3. They're saying 495,000 units, so a lot better than previously expected. So we'll have to wait and see again. Nice to see Donald Trump and Elon Musk making up again. Yeah, I like it.
I don't know how much of that was even real at this point. It's hard to believe.
That's true.
This daily chart looks great, guys, for Tesla once again.
So it's, you know, when you look back at it and then look at the price chart, you're just like, anything that happened, all of that drama did nothing but help the price action and kind of help the chart out, in my opinion. Just the way that it was getting sold off and getting bought up aggressively, that consolidation, the breakout that we had through the 360 just a couple of weeks ago, and then now we're consolidating even higher, price acceptance even higher. So I really like the move that's happening and like unfolding on Tesla. And a long one in the making as well, right? A long time coming. This thing has been consolidating. Let's just go up to a weekly chart here. Consolidating for quite a while in and around this 250 to 350 area. You can see since about the beginning of the year, we've just been consolidating and stepping a little bit higher. So I like the action that we're honestly seeing right here, Sean, because we did break out and now we're holding structure pretty well on top of 400, maybe a little bit of a flagging action right there. You can see that build up of price. Yep. Flat top, higher lows into that push. So yeah, like breakouts are strong in this market, man. Market's all-time highs, tech is strong. Yeah, I think breakouts are definitely going to be something to watch out for on something like a Tesla.
Yeah, you know, you and I have gone back and forth a couple of times on some of these Tesla trades, and yeah, I mean, ever since it broke out through that 360 area, it was just a breakout long, and then now you've had about a week and a half of continued extension there, and then now you finally get some good talk. And I was just reading over the notes, like finally here, we're talking about the cars again. Last week there was a lot of talk there about the AI and about, you know, what was coming next with the robo-taxis, with Optimus, and getting a couple bumps up last week due to those issues. And then today we get reaffirmed here, 495,000 units. I mean, this is a huge number for Tesla, putting the cars out. Like, I'm driving around, now that I own one, it's like I see them all over the place. It's just like you're just noticing them more and more now.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it's just, and they come down in price to become more affordable. There's more charging stations everywhere, especially here in the GTA. And I really thought it was a nice opportunity to pick some shares up near these lows, but I never did it. I've been holding Tesla for a while, and then finally now here comes the breakout. And I do think it has eyes for this top again, man. I think this 460, 480, it looks like it's pretty clear skies up here. We've now taken out some of these resistance levels. At 400 was pretty key. As you said, we're flagging up here, looking to break out one more time. And now you get Dan Ives talking nicely about it. I mean, he was going at Elon for a minute there, and now it looks like that's back and into the nice good graces there. I always look for, you know, like this 50-period moving average on a 5-minute chart could play at some point. That's 426, 427. My problem is, Obi, is the market's down today and Tesla's up 1%. So it's a very, very risky trade early on, because a lot of the time it'll get hit or rip up for no reason right off the open. And I think that's just a dangerous, like right into here. Like this is, sure, look, we had great news long, and I think we actually were into this long, but that's $8. And then you had a pullback of almost that $6 or $7, $8 again. And then it started to go again in the afternoon. And then, you know, even this move here, right away, right off the jump off the open on Thursday, it opens up around 426, 427, goes to 432, then gets down $10 again right there off the open, before eventually giving us a trade short up there once it makes that high again. And look what it does on Wednesday, right first thing on the open here. We go from 416 down to 410, right back up to 416, right back down again, break it and start to rip. So there's a lot of movement every single morning on this stock. Right here we go from 415 again down to 411 before making move back up. And then, you know, so I'm looking for something similar to that today, although it looks like with the good news, it's only going to be upside. So VWAP right now at 430 is looking like 430 dip buy opportunities are in play there. 428 holding that level from Monday early. That could be a play as well, but I think you got to go long on Tesla. It's just looking like another positive day here for this name. And if you're going to go short, there's quantum names out there that have been struggling here this morning. There's crypto names that are obviously struggling here this morning. I just don't think it's right to start picking on Tesla short when I don't don't see a catalyst to do that.
No, that's fair.
You know, I think this market is so catalyst driven that you can pick and choose your stocks. We have Micron coming with earnings later on this week. And it's just, there's just a lot of names, and we're going to have Michael in a couple seconds here coming through. There's a lot of different opportunities in different spaces, and I feel like today especially, some are pushing and some are pulling. And Tesla right now for me is starting to push. So I would rather wait to see where that eventually goes to, see if it falls down and we can find some sort of a bottom. But I love the fact that we're talking about cars again, because we still have all of those other levers to be pulled with Tesla. So it's a good stock. You know what I actually want to look at? I know we're going to go to Michael in 1 second. I want to see what Rivian was doing, because last week we had some good, and that's doing nothing. We had some good movements in Lucid as well off that reverse split. They reverse split from 2 to 20. Yeah. Had a nice move down there recently on their split, right? Went back into 1650 or so, and now taking out that 20 again. So if this can come back into $20, that reverse split level, maybe there's a trade there. And I just saw Google flashing a little bit. It might not be for any reason, but okay, so Google downside. So this is what I mean. A strong name that's getting hit to the downside that I know I want to buy on weakness is Google. So there's going to be some opportunities coming through right here. All right, I'm going to go get some lemon tea, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to
and we're going to throw it back over to the desk with Michael Noss.
All right, as promised, let's bring in Michael Noss. We'll kick off the week with a look at what everyone is shorting. Mr. Noss, happy Monday. It's
happy Monday.
We've been doing this over the past couple of weeks here, looking at just from a higher perspective, from an overall market perspective, the positioning long side versus short side to get a bit of a feel. Sharif and I were just sitting here staring at this first chart that you have, and it just continues to float higher and higher and higher and higher. Is there something we can take away from the simple fact that short side positioning continues to increase?
Yeah, and this is crazy. So, and this is why I'm bringing it to you guys, is because, I know I've been kind of pounding the table and talking a lot about positioning, and I promise it won't be forever, because, when it comes to positioning, it's kind of like sentiment. It only matters at the extremes or when something is crazy. Another example is just short float information, right? A stock could be very heavily shorted, but if it's going down every day, it doesn't really matter. The shorts are making money. There's really nothing to do there. I think I have one chart above that, unless I sent you an old version, but this particular one is a good one as well, which is the there we go. So there's to begin with, that's the ES. So that's the S&P 500. And they are now more short than they've been in like the last 4 or 5 years. So first of all, just for those who are new, this is just, if you trade futures, your broker has to, by law, report this to the CFTC. So this is, red line is kind of the culmination of every large trader. So someone who is, a institution, a hedge fund, someone who is over, I think it's over $10 million in assets or $10 million in positions. They net those out and it just shows up as this line. So at 0, it just means that on net, there's some people long, some people short, no big deal. If it's way above, then it means most people are long. But now you can see, not only are they very short, 200,000 contracts in the S&P 500 short, but they've been shorting more. And if you look at kind of where that line started to go under 0 and zip down, they've started to short around the April crash, and they've been shorting ever since. And that to me is why this is just so crazy, is because we've all known, we've all done it, and we know we shouldn't, but if you're shorting something as it's making new highs and new highs, eventually the broker is going to call you. And it doesn't matter if you're a large institution or if you're a small guy like us, eventually the broker comes a knocking and tells you have to get out of this position. And they don't get you out of that position nicely. It's forced buying. So at some point, I've been saying this for months, and I expect this to end with some sort of huge blow-off rally, and then we're going to hear in the news of some fund that exploded or something, because this is pretty wild. Because if we go to the next chart, we can see they're also short the Russell 2000, and they shorted more as the Russell 2000 hit all-time highs. So they're not only short large caps, they're short small caps. The only major index, I don't have the chart here because it was almost neutral, that they were long a little bit was the Nasdaq, but not enough to offset these positions. This is another interesting one, and why I think we might be getting a little bit of the pullback that we're seeing in Ethereum today. I saw that there was a lot of liquidations that occurred in just the Ethereum market. So this is Ethereum, the futures contract, and below is the positioning. And you can see they bought a whole bunch. So they're more long actually than in the entire history of the futures Ethereum contract being listed. And they're very long at these highs. And again, the reason that this is important is because if you study these charts, they're wrong a lot. So if you believe that most institutions outperform or underperform the S&P 500, which is true, if you believe they generally get a little bit too bullish at the top and too bearish at the bottom, which you can go and look at is also true, then that's why studying these are so important. So everyone's short the S&P 500, everyone is short the Russell 2000, everyone is long Ethereum. So it makes sense if we're going to get some sort of rotation that we've been seeing for quite a bit here, where we get a Nasdaq or a crypto pullback, and then we get a nice kind of push in small caps and maybe some of these other sectors in the S&P 500, like technology or like healthcare and financials and things like this that are kind of outside that AI window. Last but not least, this is just kind of an interesting chart. So this is crude oil, and they are, on net, the average speculator is still long crude oil. However, they're always long crude oil, and the reason for that is that the other side of this trade is always your hedgers, and your hedgers are always short crude oil. Because if you think about it, the best example that I heard is just if you're an airline, you're constantly selling and you're constantly short futures contracts because you're betting against you're basically worried about a price spike in oil that would kind of really hurt your airline or whatever company. So these guys are always long, but they are less long than they've ever been. So it's almost like being short at this point. Basically, they're not positioned correctly if we are going to get a surge up in oil. So just like anything, we want to see the positioning being offside, and then we want to see price confirm that they are indeed wrong. So we're seeing that in equities right now. They're, of course, wrong. We're at all-time highs. You can't be short and be correct when we're at all-time highs. But this one kind of stood out to me as well, because if we get a move over this purple line that's been support for a long time, this $64, $65 area, there are not enough people positioned to the long side, so that could be a little bit of catch-up trade. So just pay attention to this. It's one of the reasons why I think that every dip that we're seeing in the market is getting bought, because that's the only way that you could unwind a losing short position. They can't really be chasing highs when you're short 200,000 S&P contracts. You need to, kind of work your way out slowly. So if we start to see more highs and more accelerated highs, I'm not interested in the short side or kind of the chop that we expect to see in September at all until these positions normalize. Because in my trading career, I don't remember seeing them this wrong. And again, if they're wrong, the broker is going to come and cover for them.
My next question was simply going to be, do we have any historical data, if you look in the past and say anytime, the market is at highs or has some sort of significant run as we've had since the April lows, is there a correlation between how short the positioning becomes versus when a pullback, if you want to call it that, occurs?
Yeah, and one good example actually might be the Russell 2000 chart, where I cut it off. But as we came out of that kind of 2023, 2024 lows, they were as short at the bottom of, to the left of the chart will be that 2023 or 2022, 2023 lows. They were almost as short as they are now. And you remember in 2024, this thing just we just rocketed. That was the launch of ChatGPT. That was NVDA seeming to double every day. That was the craziness. And they just got back to even. So if you're focused on the left-hand side of the chart, they just flipped and got long at the very top of the Russell. And then you can see that we kind of hung out there for a while as they were finally long, right there perfectly. And then we fell down. So I'm wondering if we're going to potentially see roughly the same thing, where we get another explosion higher that's fueled by all this short covering rally. And then we pay attention. This chart is updated every week. We pay attention once those shorts are blown out and get back to a more neutral position. That's where maybe we stop and we hang out, because that fuel of shorts covering over and over again has run out, and maybe then that will be kind of the next pullback. That's what I'm going to watch for. Anyway.
Could you make the argument, though, Michael, that both sides of that equation actually end up as a positive for the overall market? Meaning, if some of these short positions start to unwind and come off, it's almost a signal of more confidence in the market that we could still go higher.
Yes, and I think it depends how it happens. If they slowly cover over time, then it may be them just kind of realizing that they're wrong and we're moving higher. What I'm more, I guess, worried about and more, I would be less excited to chase the run on would be a blow up, right? So there's obviously a number of funds here that are short this. If it all blows up and we see that line spike up to zero, like in a week or two, then we know that that wasn't because there was confidence there. It was because their broker tapped them on the shoulder and said, enough, you have to liquidate, you're underwater too much. So how the positioning returns to neutral, I think, is as important as if it returns to neutral.
Yeah, super interesting with everything that's going on, on a macro basis as well. We'll keep an eye not only on the positioning side of things, but I think individual stocks are quite interesting from this aspect as well, that continue to not only chase the overall move in the market, but get to levels that we haven't seen in a long, long time as well. Michael Moss, great stuff. We'll see you after the close once again tonight.
I'll talk to you then. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Michael, for all that. Yeah, I think that's part of it, right? When traders get offside, then you start to see some acceleration one way or the other. Talking there about oil with airlines and things like that. I think that's somewhat important. I think if you're looking at a more of a macro area and you're looking to make some moves in spaces that, and just go a little higher level than just simply looking at, intraday levels. Just try to figure out the percentage of short. Doesn't make any sense that someone's maybe levered up in one space other than another. You talked about the Russell there. It was the first time last week where all four indexes, I said it was the first time since 2022, all four hit all-time highs. Dow Jones in the same day, IWM, Nasdaq, and the S&P 500. So as Michael said, the shorts have been wrong because you're at all-time highs, but eventually plays happen, and you're going to have to wait for this capitulation move at some point. I do think the market falls down. I can't figure out what the story is going to be yet unless we get a bad China relationship here all of a sudden, because right now I feel that there is a little bit of green shoots with China, right? We keep talking about NVIDIA. Looks like it's going to get worked out. Now it looks like TikTok is maybe, finally being worked out as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what sends this market to the downside, and if it's traders being offside, then maybe that is part of what it is. So I don't know. I don't look at oil enough.
You covered a great point there about position. Something in my trading that I'm trying to get a little bit better at as well, and it goes back to the same thing. Who's Sorry, it was muted.
Okay, yeah.
So no, but I like the point that he brings about positioning and focusing on the offside. How are hedge funds positioned? How do people play the game? And are they offside based off of what the chart is saying? I think that's a very, very important point to make. And that's kind of what we're always looking for. Who's offside? Who's in trouble? And can we take advantage of it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what trading is all about. Is if you just trade your own book, that's one thing, but it's also good to look around you and figure out what the environment is all about, right? And I mean, the market looks pretty strong to me. I mean, even just a pullback of 0.3 today doesn't seem to be hurting too much. And it looks like we're even right now bouncing off of VWAP right now. And I mean, here we go. As the market gets ready to open up, you're starting to get back to the upside again, and we could possibly turn green even before this market opens. We still got 30 minutes to go right here. Joe's got the upgrades and downgrades. There's a big name on the top left of that screen.
Yes. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Let's take a look at what we got on the upgrades and downgrades. Yes, at the top of the list, we have the big boys getting that price target raised by Wedbush, yes, by Dan Ives as well, too, with a target of $310. That's Apple, of course. Now, with Crown Castle, Wolf Research lifting that price target to $114. Now, for ASML, Morgan Stanley is going from equal weight to overweight. No specific target on that one. And then Applied Materials, same thing, from underweight to overweight by Morgan Stanley. Now on the downgrade side, we have Crocs getting that price target lowered by Piper Sandler, and then we have Greenfire Resources by BMO Capital going from underperform to market perform, so you're getting the downgrade there. And then Lennar by JP Morgan getting that price target lowered to $92. Now Jasper Therapeutics by BTIG Research getting that target lowered from $20 to $7. Now let's take a look at some of the options activity leading from last week. Now Apple, not on the list, but had over 1 million contracts traded on a specific strike price. Now, on this one, we have Microsoft calls, so 48,500, and this is this week's expiration cycle with about 10,000 current open contracts. Now, with all that massive expiration last week, I'm going to look for that to not grow substantially. And the same with the likes of Google. We have 35,600 contracts traded at that $257 strike price, again expiring this week with only 11,400 contracts currently open. That may grow a little bit in size, nothing substantial, but I think one that was very interesting for me and that is going to expire this week as well is going to be Amazon. So if you look at that 235 strike price, you're going to have 99,000 contracts, and this was Friday's session. So 99,000 contracts already on that rolled over expiration cycle with 58,100 currently still open contracts at that 235 strike price, guys.
Nice. Good look there. Thank you, Joe, very much. There's a couple of good names on there standing out. And Apple right off the bat as well. Apple with one of the top upgrades. Apple is actually one of my top names on the day today for potential continuation because of how close it is to 250. You can see right here, this is a 3-hour chart. You can see we're coming up onto these prior levels here, 249.39, these highs all the way from the end of February, the beginning of this year, and pushing all the way back up. So yeah, nice little push. Let's see if we can effectively sustain above that 250 and continue. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a breakout of this top from there, and then maybe even a push to 259 if we're really going to start pushing Apple's ATR on the day there as well. And one more from that upgrade is the. Was it AMSL or
ASML?
ASML, yeah, ASML. Here we go. There's the one. This one here, this thing's going absolutely crazy, almost parabolic action here. Again, this is another 3-hour chart.
Good stuff.
We're breaking out of some of these prior levels. We'll go to a higher time frame here, weekly. You can see looking very similar to a lot of other stocks in the market in terms of the chip sector and tech, as it's attempting another push for its highs. $1,000 maybe potentially on the horizon as well. But yeah, I really like the strength in this market. And you were just a few minutes ago, you were talking about, we're at the highs. Who knows when we're going to capitulate or pull back? But if you look back at this year, we already had almost a 20% pullback at the beginning of this year.
Right? And NVIDIA went down 40% or something.
So we had a strong pullback this year already.
140 to 95 bucks. Like that's NVIDIA, like one of the biggest names, right? And so there is a lot of money happening there in this marketplace. And I saw that Rivian millionaire. I'll open it up and show you guys. There's a lot of money being made, and Obi and I were talking about how much imbalances and all that actually matter, and just being able to, it goes back to what Michael's talking about. It goes back to some of these call walls or put options or put walls, different option plays, traders getting caught offside and everything like that. And there's big opportunities when you're looking at rebalances. And we talked about it all on Friday, where you're saying that, okay, there needs to be some buys happening in a stock like a Palantir, or I think there was sell-offs in, I can't remember what names, Hecla Mining, I think was a big buy or something like that, but you get different opportunities to make some money. So we're gonna go check out, my Stream Deck's probably not loaded. Hold on a second. I have to hit the money thing for this because we're gonna go review. Still not working, okay. Now? No, there it goes, okay. Hopefully it doesn't happen like 1,000 times. Let's go find out who made money on Friday here. So this is,
oh boy.
This is, what the heck is going on? My computer does have, there are some gremlins. I saw Brendan put in the chat there that there were some gremlins running around here this in the over the weekend. But here we go. All right, top 10 traders. Look what happened in the TSX on Friday. Talk about some trading opportunities. $47,000 in the TSX. This is Canadian. This is American, sorry, by the way. So $47,000 made on some of these imbalances. More. Someone made 23 grand in Nasdaq. This trader traded many markets, man. Nasdaq, Stockholm, Zitra as well. This trader almost identical, almost to the dollar with the amount of stocks. They're probably trading at the same office. 21,000, 19,000. There's just monster numbers available there. And all of this is not trading punching long Apple or punching long Enbridge or trading Canadian banks. It's looking at the numbers, it's figuring something out and going hard on whatever sort of imbalance options. We don't have trade options here, but looking at different opportunities that are available in the marketplace. And I was just gonna, and Obi and I started saying this earlier when we saw each other, was like, we knew there was big numbers on Friday. There's imbalances. Look, some days they're wrong. And those are just the top numbers.
That was quad witching, right? You got to remember, quad witching, like everyone,
But you can get geared up for that, Obi. I know you're going to say it's quad witching, but there's opportunities like that every day. I just feel like as traders, you gotta look for those.
Yes.
And sometimes they're not as obvious as quad witching. But there's a deletion tonight. You talked SPTN. That stock is getting deleted tonight. So that
tomorrow,
so that should be on the imbalance locator. So if you're doing enough, excuse me, if you're doing enough research and looking into all that stuff, I feel like there's opportunities every day in this market. I was going to go over Bitcoin too, but we can do that as we go on. We're getting a little late in the tooth here, but yeah, your Apple play there. That Apple is the number one trade right here on it. So we're going to wait this. Thank you so much, Buddhist priest. I tried to go, Sean's looking trim. Yeah, not that trim, my guy, but I tried to go to Burger's Priest last week. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I know, but the one on the Queensway, which is one of the original ones, was closed for renovations.
Oh, no.
So you know we wound up going Rudy's. You've been to Rudy's?
Oh, I've heard. Why does it sound so familiar?
It's Smash Burgers. There's one in Little Italy. There's a couple downtown. It's like a purplish logo. Anyways, pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. I prefer Burger's Priest, but it was pretty good. So we went there. It was my birthday last week, so we went
Happy
there.
Birthday. Happy belated.
Yeah, thank you for that one. Yeah, September. I love the fall. My brother and I are born on the same day.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So as well. Isn't your birthday in the winter?
July.
Complete opposite of winter. All right, cool. Good for me. All right. Well, then we'll. I'm sure I said happy birthday to you when it was there. I just my memory is not the greatest. So, do I think Robinhood might go up a little bit today? Yeah, well, I mean, again, I think that's a great question.
Close on Friday.
Rishi, we did have a monster close on Friday. I'll talk about Robinhood quickly. See, this is the problem. I can't look at the chat because the minute I look at it, I just want to. The S&P.
App and Hood,
yeah, right? You see App Lovin', that stock.
Both those are crazy in the close.
So there's always buy the rumor, sell the news. So I had thought, and I had talked about this live on here, and this is, again, another great opportunity to look at index rebalances and things like that that have nothing to do with the macro idea of the stock itself, but more the micro workings of index rebalancing and allocations, right? So I feel like you had a nice little 4-day run up, but the market was so hot last week, so I'm not sure if there was really any run up into the inclusion. You know, the inclusion was announced, I think, a month prior, so you already sort of got that bump and then the fade when the market was weak. This was your opportunity to buy Robinhood, man, down here. So do I think, I can't remember the question, but do I think there's room for acceleration? Yes, I do. I mean, there's where the post-market trading happened on Friday after the imbalance happened. So a shot up into 125, obviously some sell side action there while the market's not open. I would say it's not on the sticky note, but thanks for bringing this up. I actually think a 125 break long right into here is something to talk about for Robinhood. So that's going to be a good continuation play. Now that we have the S&P, we have all this stuff behind us, we can now focus on fundamentals of Robinhood, and it's been really a good stock to get going. Now it has a huge PE. It's not a typical fintech name. Well, it's a typical fintech name, but not a typical finance or banking name, right? Those banking ETFs and stocks have PEs under 20. This thing is, before I tell everybody what it is, Hood's PE is probably 60 or 70. Let me have a quick little look at it together live, and then we can switch. As if.
Boom, right there.
I didn't even, Obi, honestly.
On the nose.
Like, that's just ridiculous that it was, we've never even looked at, like, I'm not even going to try to guess SOFI's because now that I'm 1 for 1, we're just going to put it at that. But yeah, I do like Robinhood there. And I think 60 PE, honestly, for a growth name, Costco's PE is 53. So, you know, Costco 53, obviously it's going to be a little bit of a different business model than Robinhood. Holy geez, it's 9:08. Sorry about that, boys. All right, let's go back over to the desk. We're having too much fun here this morning.
All right, guys, 67.22. That's where we closed out on Friday on the ES December contract, guys. We're on that December contract right now. We're trading a few points ahead of that 6,700, so we've been dancing with it. It's been a resistance level. We haven't been able to clear it for the last number of days, despite, you know, trading above it at times. 67.21, guys, the overnight high with the overnight low, just 5 points below 6,700, 66.95. So we're going to use 6,700 as our support level. If we continue to trend, we're looking to that 67.25 point area as resistance. If we lose, Brendo, 6,700, we're looking to 66.75 as support.
A lot to understand once again this morning. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the absolutely free watch list. Comes right to your inbox every morning. Link is below in the description. All you need is your email. You get that for free. You can use that address as well. We'll take you there. Oracle, top of the list here this morning. We were up nicely after the close on Friday, held on to those gains for the most part here this morning. They announced the CEO, or temporary, I guess, CEO replacement. We're back to the downside on that, but trying to bounce right now back above not only 305, but 307, trying to hold. Also, looks like this TikTok deal down here is a done deal for the time being. TikTok involved with a group that is going to secure the U.S. data assets, essentially, of TikTok. And it looks like it's going to include the Chinese algorithm, which is key.
Yeah, that really shocked me there, Brenda, because we had been talking about, the bread and butter of this app is the algorithm. So here's the deal. 6 of the 7 board members on this new kind of administration set up to oversee TikTok are going to be American. 1 will be Chinese. We're going to have likely Rupert Murdoch as well as his son Lachlan Murdoch involved, playing key roles in this new organization. We also obviously have Oracle's chairman, Larry Ellison, as well as Dell Technologies CEO Michael Dell. They're all going to be participating in this. We know that President Xi and President Trump spoke on Friday, likely executing what was reported, Brendo, to be a very old deal that wasn't gone through because of the Chinese-American trade negotiations. So we're going to continue to watch over here, but this is yet another step in the right direction for Oracle, really diversifying away from cloud.
As we all knew, Xi, that is, had the final say on the TikTok deal. So I guess Trump got another one in his success column. Here's, I guess it's 308 or 308, 309 was the high or the closing price going back to Friday, guys. Bit of a tough spot right now. This thing's been one of the hottest stocks since earnings, though.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, thanks. I was just looking at the chart, actually. And yeah, it's been hot since earnings, and I think that's where you got to play off now. I mean, this TikTok thing is just, whoa. Well, actually, I don't know what's up with that move. That just happened there at 8 o'clock, so that's a little
That's off of the news there, yeah.
Right, yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, that's
candle,
a decent, decent candle down in there. Nice to see it trying to battle back right there for Oracle. I think it's forming a pretty decent kind of garbage zone here. And when I say get that garbage out of here, like once you start to break through it, then you're going to see that these bottoms were well supported, right? And I think that if you could get, again, something around $300 for swing trade, I think that's great. Eventually this breaks 320 and then gets returns back to, earnings bonanza. And I mean, they had that, OpenAI mystical buyer there, opening up their book for the next 4 years for them. They got a deal with Meta late on Friday as well, sending this market. I think it was a $20 billion deal or something like that with Meta after hours, or close enough to the end of the day there. I think it might have been this little spike. Oh, no, that's the 4 o'clock. That's the imbalance spike. But anyways, a deal coming with Meta. Oracle's not slowing down anytime soon. Larry Ellison, I know the guy's 80 years old, but this company is really, really pumping and really working. So I think you buy any of the dips in this, and why not just play off this pre-market low? Buyers came in and bought it at 304, 305. I think it's a work in progress, but I think you want to buy that. And look, if you break 3 bills, we can get out. I mean, let's just use less shares on Oracle and try to hold it down into this area if we're wrong right here. So it's like these were the tops on Friday, until we broke out. I mean, and what happened at the end of the day on Friday? There was a lot of different action there. This must have been it right there on the Meta news, and then it came back in, and then we got bumped up on those imbalances. So I feel like there's some falsifying up there, but could pull back in, and if we do get a 304, 305 dip by opportunity, Obi, I think that's a buy. And again, off some of those highs right there, that's 304 from Friday, coming in, and then consolidation, boom. So for me, that's a buy right into this area. So I think we can actually sit there and catch a falling knife with like 1 unit. And then if it breaks back down below, or in and around 300, maybe we put on 2 or 3 more units and we have 4 or 5 units, and then we wait to see if it breaks that, and if it does, then we go home early. No, but you know, I like the long in this space. Yeah. It's starting to go now. Look, it's almost back to zeros. And with the market falling down and Oracle being strong with stories behind it, I think it's a work and I think it's a win. So I like it, and I'm excited to have a look there if it gets down into 3 bills.
I think that's a very interesting area to watch for sure. But I'm gonna have to differ a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's great.
On my opinion. I think Oracle long term is definitely a great long. You can see this is the monthly chart. We've been trending up pretty nicely over the past few years, even through COVID. We get bought up and hold levels relatively well. Going back down to say like an hourly chart, I do like this consolidation that we're having. We've got an aggressive push on top of it. And yeah, I really do like that 290, 300 area. But guess what, Sean? I like the breakdown. I have exactly the same kind of idea on mine, being like, if this goes, I like that for the breakout as well. But if that breaks that 290, there's a lot of short-term participants that may have gotten long in and around earnings or pre-earnings or whatever it is, even through earnings, that may be a little bit offside, maybe bring us back into some prior resistance, turn to support maybe at the 260s. That's what I'm looking for on Oracle here. I do like this flag that we're building. And yeah, that 290 is definitely going to be a little bit of an interesting point to see what price does in and around there and how participants kind of act in and around there as well. So I think I'm going to be waiting for this to potentially come in. But if we do break out, that 320 is looking good, that prior high just from last Tuesday. If that 320 goes, then yeah, maybe that 350 is well within range. But all-time high push, that aggressive earnings has started to consolidate right now in and around that 300 on Oracle. A little bit of morning news, but you can see going down to a shorter time frame again, it's eating it up pretty well, bouncing off of some prior day's highs as well. So even through a little bit of, I guess, scary selling, it's holding up pretty well on the support side.
All right, let's go on to Snapchat here. Huge gap to the upside once again this morning, coming off a bit of a pullback day on Friday. Notice the volume at the bottom, first of all, ramping up with price here. This thing was up 12% on the week, even with that dip going into the weekend. We're hugging $9 here on the back of a pretty successful launch here for a new OS for their smart glasses right after we got Meta's last week.
Yeah, here they are, Brendo. I mean, I don't know. I think I like the Meta ones a little bit better.
Chunky.
Yeah, a little chunky. I think those would, the viewing spectrum looks to be a little bit smaller, and monster side, I think that just comparing to the Meta glasses there, and Meta glasses obviously come with the wristband that follows hand gestures, not so for the Snapchat glasses. But as you mentioned, up 12% last week, really boosted by unusually high trading volume. In fact, Thursday saw about 202 million shares exchange hands. That's way above the average daily range of 40, Brendo. A lot of people were saying that it was linked, or the move was fueled by TikTok regulatory concerns. Somehow TikTok would be restricted and Snap would benefit. I don't really think that that's going to be the case, quite frankly, because it feels like, we're just going to be business as usual for TikTok. We'll see.
The selling we saw, you mean on Friday going into the weekend here. Nice gap, though, this morning, guys, holding at highs for Snap.
What a disaster. Last week, I sat here.
Yes.
I mean, it's great. I'm glad it's going up. But I sat here last week when we talked about the glasses. So I think it must have been Monday or Tuesday last week because we were waiting for Meta to come through. Right. And I was like, I remember Snapchat was all about these glasses. And they were one of the very first ones to talk about this. And you could probably look it back. It's probably 2019 or something like that. I don't even remember. And I was like, you know what? This $7 area, and I think it was at $7.40. So that very next day, that same day, it went up. And then that's when I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to buy it. Maybe it does float back into this area. I mean, it's been really beat up. I mean, I don't necessarily want to sit here and pound into Snapchat or anything like that. But I was thinking to myself, what's wrong with this 7 area? And if it breaks it, hopefully we'll be able to get out 680, something like that. And I even remember saying here to Obi, I was like, we get here, we go up to 850 and we get out. This is 8, this is 9, but in and around 850, taking out that. Now you're running into the 200 pre-moving average. I actually think you can, if you're long in this name, stay here.
Yeah. I
mean, this TikTok news is great. The thing about Snapchat is it's very utilized by, I feel like the demographic, and this is just speaking from my checks and balances and stuff like that. And I had, this weekend we had some of the teammates, and my daughter's 11, and they use Snapchat. There's Snapchat group talks for their hockey team and whatnot. There's a lot of usage of that app, but then I find like as kids get older, I talk to my 23-year-old, he's not using Snapchat. And I don't know, do you use Snapchat?
I used to use a lot of Snapchat,
right.
but like I've kind of fallen off of it. I know there are people who still kind of, it's still active, but I don't think it's
not like
as
the number one go-to.
anymore.
Like I think there's a lot, obviously, as different things, different social medias we can use, but I do like the glasses, and I do think that if there still is a base there, advertising continues to win right now. We are obviously a consumption-based economy, and if they're consuming digital information on Snapchat, then it probably continues to go higher. I mean, you're always looking for those daily active user numbers, and then if they can get a spark now because Meta's bringing back this glasses talk and they can get a good little run here with their augmentation, then I like Snapchat moving higher, and I don't think you have to get out until it breaks back below this 50-period moving average. I'm here to stamp that, not as a fail. I have a fail here, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to continue to go higher. I like Snapchat here, and I'm not in it, so I just like the way it looks. It's breaking out. Obviously, you're going to have some kind of resistance at the 200-period moving average, but what about $10?
Yeah.
You can go from $7 to $10, put 40% in your pocket and forget about it. I think that's a win.
I like that. I like that a lot, man. And again, yeah, getting a little snap to the upside off of those
like
glasses right there. But yeah, continuation is exactly what I'll be looking for here. As Sean just pointed out, a lot of room to the upside. We got that $10 resistance level. We're trading at $8.96 highs as of right now in the pre-market, and the bid is holding up pretty well as well. You can see the 4 a.m. high. We're kind of chopping and turning.
Hey-o.
Thank you very much. But yeah, a little bit of a gap up push on Snapchat. Again, last week, Friday, we had strong selling into the close, all-day sellers, and today we're gapping up above some of those reference prices. I really like the long even more when it comes to that, and you can see the build-up into it as well. It's been trending, and this is a little bit of a pop acceleration.
Here's a man who's at he's the perfect demographic for Snapchat.
Oh, yeah. Nice little rounded bottom as well.
I feel like the answer's on his chest right now for that one. Thank you for the coffee.
I like the shirt.
Your weekend was good?
The weekend was good weather until last night.
Yeah, the rain came through. Hey, but I don't mind the rain for
a big boomer, big thunderstorm.
Yeah, the first time my dog is never normally scared. But yesterday was kind of like a little bit like, didn't like all that
Clyde
noise.
just snored to the whole thing. He doesn't scare him at all. Interesting.
But it's nice to see the weather though come through, so that's good. I mean, it's funny because in the summer I feel like it wasn't raining too often.
No, we need the rain. My poor garden, I got peppers and tomatoes out there, all kinds of other stuff, and we need rain. Like, wow. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rand. Thank you for the coffee, Randy, as well. Was there one more point about Snapchat on the daily you wanted to go over?
I like the push. That's what I'm saying. I liked it for the continuation, and as long as it can hold those pre-market levels, I'll be looking for that continuation. I want to see some buyer dominance, and I want to get involved if I see some buyer dominance. That's basically the idea on Snapchat. But yeah.
Buyer dominance. 6 million shares in the pre-market already. It's Snapchat. It's time to go back over the desk. And now we got to go look at Tesla now breaking above 430 and looking pretty strong. Tesla is or is not on the sticky note. What do you guys think? Let's go back over the desk.
All right, yeah, exactly. Back to basically session highs here for Tesla. This is Piper Sandler this morning, looking at 16% potentially more upside here to come.
Yeah, that's a good look, Brendo. Not bad at all. $500 price target from the 430 that we're at right now. So here's what they said. They noted in their note, they highlighted that Chinese EV makers view Tesla as their key benchmark, both in manufacturing as well as AI-driven innovation. They're giving they're gauging Tesla delivers about 495,000 units in Q3 of this year, noting that their progress from 0 to 1 is critical for scaling to mass adoption, obviously. That $500 price target, as we spoke about, the firm points out that Tesla's full year 2025 multiple of 230x is actually defending by drawing parallels to Amazon's valuation in the early 2010s. So we'll have to see how that looks. Danny Ives as well chiming in as he typically does. Brendo reiterating Tesla's long-term AI and autonomous driving potential as a $1 trillion market cap opportunity. He also backed Elon's $1 billion stock purchases as a major confidence signal. We saw Elon buying up a storm of Tesla's stock over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and will most likely continue at this rate. What do we think here, guys? More upside here for Tesla?
Look, I mean, I like Tesla. I'm the car's downstairs charging right now, but no, I think it's a buy. We started talking about this already when we started the show. It's broken now above this range, right? The minute we started clocking through 370, we've just been hitting long like every day pretty much. You got one red candle and they're fine. But honestly, I think it continues to work now, man. You got Dan Ives back on the side of Tesla here. They're now talking about cars and acceleration in the space now. 495,000 deliveries for Tesla. I mean, it's a great number there. And then obviously we continue to look at Tesla as a robo-taxi play and as a further AI play. And I mean, look at this. When you take a look at that, Obi, you're breaking through your weekly resistance yeah, right now. And that has to be 435. That little wick high right there on the 17th, looking like 433 and change, 434. I think it's 434 would maybe be the breakout level there. And then so I'm always like, when there's a gap, maybe wait for some kind of a pullback to VWAP, which would be 430. I don't think that VWAP being here at 430 is far enough away. Like, you can get dramatic moves, and we talked about what Tesla does off the open every day. It'll give you buy opportunities and it'll give you sell opportunities. Like this name will move up or down $7 or $8 in the first 5 minutes, pretty much of every day, let alone a day when it's dummying the market right now. You're well up when the market's down. I could see some Tesla haters, or not even haters, but guys that were long into this coming in today, potentially thinking the Nasdaq may go for a little bit of a sleep here in the first couple days of the week with not many headlines, not big earnings coming through. We have Micron later on. But I would say that Tesla potentially on a dip into the 200 period. I like these pre-market lows in and around 428. And then I kind of like these levels that we developed on Friday that we're holding, 426 to 427. But to answer everybody's question, and nobody has the question, I just posed it because nobody's questioning, and I'd like to talk to myself. Tesla is not on the list today. It's Apple, it's Intel, it's SOFI. Boy. Like SOFI. SOFI breaking through 30, I put on here, is a definite trade opportunity today. SOFI breaking through 30 and getting to 31.50, I think is a good opportunity. Already breaking out through highs, $29 long if we get a dip buy. Apple, Intel, SOFI, and then all of, or at least these three big quantum names. I think they're still a long. As we wait for some support, you can go find that on my note. But at the end of the day, I think Tesla makes a move down in, especially if this market, I know it looks a little hot right now. Let's see if it pulls back to VWAP. If it pulls back to VWAP, Tesla will as well. And we do have the imbalances out, which aren't affecting anything. So we're going to wait for a 426, 427 area for Tesla. And I can't say the word imbalances without showing it to everybody. Snapchat has a buy, NVIDIA with a sell. So that's now 500,000 shares to sell. So you're getting a little bit of a red candle there for NVIDIA. But I don't see Tesla on here of any sort of significance. So for me, it's clear sailings. Look to dip by that around 426, 427 for Tesla. 3 minutes to go, my guy.
Yes, sir. You know, I like the continuation on Tesla, like I said, and starting off the week with some good strength for sure. And you were talking about Tesla haters. Sean, I got to tell you, I love Tesla haters.
Yeah, man.
And I love when they have strong conviction as well, because that's basically what's been running this move over the past few years, is the stair-step squeeze action. Like, if you hate Tesla, by all means, man, go ahead and short it, because that run up in that squeeze has been absolutely beautiful. And the way that the structure has been building up is just as beautiful itself. Another build up last week on top of the 400. 433 halves is the high of that consolidation. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to see, can we do a distinct push through that 33 half? Are we going to sustain? Do we see momentum right off of the open? And yeah, last week, if you were trying to get long intraday, it was a little difficult because intraday it would more often than not sell off. But you can see bigger picture structure, we have been stepping up. So I really do like it. Let's see if that strength does come in at the beginning of the week.
All right, let's go on to CoreWeave here, actually moving right now, trying to get back to green on the morning. Was downside here basically after what we saw on Friday. A nice move to the upside through to 130 out of the gate on Friday. We're trying to go red to green right now. This is just one of a few. Loop Capital initiating coverage on CoreWeave this morning, 165. That's a huge upside target for CoreWeave after that NVIDIA news on Friday.
Yeah, it's not bad to have somebody like NVIDIA guarantee they're going to buy your excess capacity, Brendo, because, well, there's not so much excess capacity at the moment because there's a lot of demand, obviously, for AI compute, but nice backdrop for CoreWeave to make sure any excess is bought up separately. NVIDIA is partnering up with an Abu Dhabi AI research hub called the Technology Innovation Institute. It's going to be one of the first in the Middle East. They're going to develop the next generation AI models and robotics platform, and this is the first time we're going to see NVIDIA's Thor chip, Thor, which is going to be used for robotics in a project enabling advanced research, so we'll keep an eye out on that. But I want to mention, Brendo, remember when Donald Trump went to the Middle East, he brought a bunch of tech leaders with him, and there were big orders for NVIDIA's GPUs? Well, many of those orders are still gone unfilled. The deal faced delays, Brendo, as the United States is still concerned about the connection and the relationships between the Middle East and China. They don't want China to get their hands on these latest chips, and so a lot of these chips have not been developed or sent to G42 and some other Middle Eastern companies.
I mean, a lot of these trade deals kind of in the same category right now.
Yes.
It was a napkin handshake kind of deal, but there's nothing, you know, set in stone as of yet. Just real quick, I know we're tight on time here. This is gold today. So here's more all-time highs this morning, guys. We're approaching 3,800 now for gold.
Gold right there. I didn't even realize we only have 30 seconds to go right here. I have it. It's still unavailable, Obi. I'll try again in a minute. Right. We're looking to get StubHub shares short, and we're unable to get it, so we'll have to look to see what happened there. With only 15 seconds left, right here, I got to get the countdown. But I like Intel short out of the space right now, breaking through last week's support there of $30. This opening bell is brought to you by VinFast. We want to say thank you to VFS. Make sure you do scan that QR code on your screen. 3, 2, 1. We are now open. We'll talk about VinFast in a minute. We will now go. Obi, good luck today, and good luck to everybody out there who is looking at this market with us. First position is now in. We are short Intel. I'm going to try to give Intel up to $30.50. I want to see if this name can get back into this area. I dare you, Intel, to see if you can do that. So we're going to wait to see right now. But there it is, a quick little pull down now. 5 or 6 cents in the money for Intel. I do think it bleeds a little bit more. Let me put a quick 5% out down in the low 60s if we can get it. But here goes Apple. It's an apple a day. Doesn't keep this doctor away, but it's getting me in it right now. If this breaks 250, watch out for Apple going upside right now. I like this trade to break through those levels. We'll try it. But Obi, the last couple times we've had breakouts early, they haven't necessarily been the trade that I've been thinking. We had Google we tried last week, didn't necessarily work out. So we're going to wait for Apple right now to make a move. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you to everybody for paying attention and joining us here one more time today. We've got Obi in the hot seat right there beside me. So, and then just quickly, I'm going to go over to you in a second, Obi. Tesla does make that move down. Oh, no. Slap a fail on your boy right now because that went right into 429. I said, look for the 200 period moving average, and it came up and smacked that right there. So, oh boy is right, Obi, for that one. I'm going to be focusing on Apple. It looks like it wants to take 250. Hey, man, we've been calling 250. Joe Sharif knows this. When we bought it at 210, we were like, next stop 250. Maybe it's time to get some out. But Apple continues to make highs here, and there it goes. We're going to break it, and we're going to go long here on AAPL. SOFI making a move down. What up, Obi?
Oh boy, yeah, that both Apple and Tesla going for it right there. 433.5 was that consolidation high on Tesla. We're chopping in and around that level right now, but I like that Apple push a little bit more here as we push up into that 250. So that 250's got a little bit of size here. So let me pull it up for you guys here on the book on this screen, and we'll throw up a little bit of a thing there as well. And I was way too slow because it's gone, and that's how fast some of these things can happen here. So that 250 initial push didn't really push. I guess 40. It went to 250, 40 there. So yeah, 250s coming in on Apple. Oh boy, breakouts in this market. Absolute strength on that one.
See, now pulls right back.
Let's see if we can sustain. Like it's 250. I expect there to be a lot of a bit of a churn here, but
yeah, my guy, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Right. No, you're right. I'm just playing.
I just want to see price sustain, and it's doing that.
Are you long?
Exactly. I'm long already. I got long before the half.
Would you punch me? Oh, you got 240. Oh yeah. Okay, good.
Halves.
That's right. I didn't even see that. All right, good. Great job there, Obi. I mean, I'm glad that that's working out right there. Let's go, man. Me, Obi, and I right now. in this name. So there goes Apple right now trying to go a little bit higher. Intel, oh boy, man, we're going to go 2 for 2 with a bang, and a bang, and another bang, and another bang, and there it goes. Intel, hey, we're short Intel, 29.75, as it was written Nas style on the sticky note. There it goes, man. We're already taking profits. We're 70 cents in the money on Apple, right? Apple is, Obi? Daily goal met right there on Apple. Now $1 in the money. And boy, we have something for that. It's called the Dollar Club right there. There goes Apple up to 251 right now. We're long at 250.07. You've got to, our board is off, but trust me when I tell you we're long this name. We are also into SOFI. So Intel and SOFI and Apple, the 3 trades that we all have written down on our sticky note, we're in all of them right now and seeing what is up. We only got out of a third right now of Apple. Apple tipped up to 251 there, and we did take the piece out there. So now we're going, and we're going to see what's going on here. Apple fading right back into 250. So, you know, the euphoria in this name might be coming out just a little bit here, as there's the fade right back. I'm going to try to hold this to 249, man. That's kind of where the 21 period moving average is. Let's see what winds up happening here with Apple, but so far so good. Intel's a good one. SoFi, we'll see if it holds, and we're dealing with Apple right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know that 250 just chopping and churning. So the pullback came in nicely.
It'll be all right.
Bar low on a 3-minute. I got 249.60s, 249.64. So yeah, let's see. It's holding. VWAP's all the way like down at that 249. So I like that level as well. Let's see if it sustains. But 250, I expect there to be a little bit of a churn, a little bit of a chop here. The market tailwind is definitely on our side as well as Apple pushes to the upside here. So 24,860-ish here on the Nasdaq, and then we got consolidation highs. Recent consolidation highs that are being pushed here on the ES as well. So VWAPs, let's see if we can hold that VWAP. I'm looking for buyer dominance. We talk about that higher time frame push and breakout, and that's coming in. So let's take a quick look at that once again here as we chop and churn around that 249 level here on Apple. So we'll go straight up to a 3-hour chart and pull back, and these are the highs that I'm talking about, guys. This one right here, from 249.39 all the way from February of this year. So yeah, once we can effectively push past this, all-time highs are well within range, coming in at a 259.18 level there on Apple. So yeah, hopefully, let's see if we can take a good bite out of this one here. 250 still churning pretty nicely and sustaining pretty well as well, Sean.
Did you try your peach yet over there?
I have not tried my peach.
I still can't get you StubHub. I'm still trying. I tried 2 times there while you were talking. I don't know what to tell you. Right now, I can try less lots maybe, but okay, I don't want to worry about it because I got these positions right here, so I'll deal with it.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right, we'll deal with it after. Okay, just real quick, man. There goes Apple. So we said this on Friday where we had huge moves, and we had Apple long on Friday as well off this 240 level, and then we got out a lot of this at VWAP 241.50. But look what happened to Apple. It went up $4, $5 on Friday. I don't want to drop it all right now, but we do have a big trade on. I mean, look at what SoFi is doing right here. If you're not following, honestly, the sticky note, I don't know how I'm coming up with some of these, but there's SoFi 29 long. It's at 29.30 right now, 29.25 right here, and it's just been really printing for us right now. So I'm going to put another offer on SoFi, see if we get a 22. Apple long break at 250. We had that. It never dipped down. And then the Intel short printed for us as well. But there it is right now, trying to get a little bit out of SoFi, and there we go. We get the 22s. This Apple I'm going to try to sit with. We just got a piece out there as well at $250. $250.50. All right, let's go back over to some names that maybe you guys want us to look at. Wow, there goes Tesla. Fire off the hot dog cannon right there. Who's got Tesla? Not me. But there it goes. We talked about that at the 200 period moving average and said that Tesla has a great opportunity today to extend further. It has 480 written all over it. You just got to look. And right now, there's another 3% there for Tesla. But you know what, Obi? We have something that everybody can contribute to live on the show, and this is this stock visualizer. I'm going to reset this bad boy right now. All you have to do is, I want to thank all 10,000 of you for watching right now. Thank you so much for everybody there. BBAI, we'll definitely have a look at that. Shout out to Oracle. We will Yatin on here. Shout out to Vic Agarwal that wants Oklo. Everyone wants GameStop, Robinhood, Tesla talk, BT talk. Wow, let's go Apple right now. Bang on that one as that continues to go higher. Put your love in the chat. Put the names that you want in there. Let Obi and I know. And this is going to populate. I'm going to hit pause on this. Let's go, Apple. Man, the Apple are like these Blue Jays, man. The Apple's made the playoffs, baby. Congratulations to Blue Jays right now for making the playoffs. But this is what's happening right here. All these names. They want to talk about Robinhood. You want to talk about Tesla. Grab, the Uber of South America, of South Asia, we found out last week as well. So there it goes, man. There goes Tesla, 240. And oh boy, Obi, to take a word from you, there goes Apple. Did you get anything out on the top there? I was too busy.
I added a little bit there.
You added. Okay, hey, if you're adding, then that's not a bad sign for me because we're already in this. But I have to tell you, I just took some out at 250.75.
Yeah, so I'm taking it slow. I'm looking for that 251 to come in. So that 250 chopped, we held well. We sustained above VWAP, and then now we're pushing up into that 251 once again. And there it goes, 251 cleared. Let's see if we can sustain this. Can you print the quarter? Can you hold the quarter, then print the half? That's what I'm thinking about right now. 251, what's the high there? 251.28 is the high as of right now. So still chopping and churning. That Tesla, man, oh boy, what a crazy move on that one.
Yeah,
straight up to, what's the high? 240s, almost, sorry, 440s almost there.
It's not
439.80s it went up to. So yeah, crazy push on this here market, man. The buyers are definitely dominant.
I just got in my long-term account. What's going on? Oh yeah, this is the new phone. Oh, and I have to look at this handsome face right here, Sharif. Come on, my guy. This is how you know this isn't my phone.
All right, anybody watching?
He did this. He gave it to me. This is what he's gonna get. Okay. But this feels nice. Like I don't have. So I only
just in case you don't know whose phone.
This is the Max. You know, this is a little different. Mine's. I just have the Pro, but mine's only a 14. This looks nice, Sharif. What is your initial thoughts?
I like it.
Nice.
Good, yeah, okay. So he's liking the phone. Good upgrade. What was your last one, 14 Pro or 15? 13, okay, so similar to me. So nice little upgrade there. We'll talk more about Apple, but I think that's why we like the stock today. It's gotten good reviews on the iPhone. The lineups still continue to be quite long. We heard some good news about this also from Sharif. Some of those tests about how durable it is. And I think that's what people want. When you're spending $2,000 or whatever you are for the model of the phone or whatever, the Max, the 1 terabyte, whatever the storage is that you got, you want a higher quality product, right? And it's good to see that that's what's happening for Apple. Sometimes you hear it breaks too easy or, it's just whatever. But we know the ecosystem for Apple is super loyal and pretty strong. And by the way, I just wanted to say, because I have NVIDIA up right now, I just got filled on the long-term account right here for some NVIDIA. So I did put a buy in there that I was looking to get something on NVDA. So we'll buy a little bit here near the lows again for NVIDIA. I bought some more 175s. It might be a little early to do that, I understand, but I still want to buy the best companies out there. And NVIDIA being down just a little bit and trying to struggle here off of the daily, I'm just taking a little bit. To me, the real buy for NVIDIA is somewhere like this, man, 165 and change. I think that's a great area long if we can get in there. Let's see what happens. And then I know you added to the position. Our position board's still not working though, Andre.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
So we got to get that working here because I'm still long. We're short Intel, we're long SOFI, and we're long Apple. Let's go over to Adara.
Martin Shkreli, otherwise known as Pharma Bro, last week he announced that he shorted the stock. He's just posted that he's actually covered his open door short. So Martin Shkreli admitting he took a loss on this. He covered his open door short at $8.90. He got short around $9.36, saying that there are better shorts out there, though he may revisit the trade at another time. So again, Martin Shkreli covering his OPE and short this morning, guys. Back to you.
Oh, Martin. These guys always win, apparently. That's the one thing about these guys.
He was offside on that short, though, right?
Of course he was, man. And we have no idea. Like, you don't have that look. I'm not questioning the integrity of these traders. It's just like, when it goes up $1 or so, you don't. I mean, and I wasn't following him. So those of you that are, I'm not trying to throw smoke at the guy, but we were trying to ask everybody in the chat, what has he been doing? And then we only find out now, once the market's down, that he's covered. So great trade there for Shkreli, that's for sure. As that looks like it continues to work out. So Obi and I, now it looks like we were celebrating Apple. Yep. Now it looks like we're caught a little bit here as we pull back into VWAP. You nervous about this at all? I'm trying to buy a little bit more here. And if we could break through VWAP, that's 249. I'm not going to give it that much room. 249.50 maybe right here is a good little buy area for me. So I'm going to do that if it can dip back in. But we're still long on Apple right now. We're short on Intel. And oh boy, man, a trade that's moving a little bit better than I had really hoped or thought that it would early, SOFI. SOFI gives us that dip into 29. We buy it, and now we're starting to get out on the upside. So we've given back a little bit trying to hold on to this Apple trade, but I still feel comfortable with it. We're still in the money, a whopping 10 cents. Let's see if Apple just had a dip that we can sort of survive with here.
Yeah, market's catching a bit of a bid here as well. That was a pretty nasty pullback there on Tesla. Apple, yeah, a little bit back into VWAP there, but holding VWAP. So it's like I'm going to continue to try to look for the same thing. I want to see some buyer dominance here. We saw it off the open. Can we look for some more? I think so. But let's see. Let's wait and see what Apple kind of tells us. I want to listen to what the market's kind of telling me as well. And yeah, we're trying to push. We're holding pretty well here in and around that 250. High a day currently 251.28 here on Apple. But yeah, let me know what you guys are trading. I know Apple's not the only one that's moving around in the market. There's a lot of opportunity. Tesla was amazing. But yeah, throw it up in the chat. I know a lot of people were looking at Hood or Apple Oven, both with strong closes going into the weekend on Friday after an S&P 500. Was it the Russell S&P 500?
Both those were S&P.
Yeah. So I think those were great looks as well.
Tesla 8-month highs.
Tesla's holding, man. Tesla's holding that 438s.
So right now we have 8-month highs. So in Tesla and in Apple, right there. Wedbush giving the upgrade to Apple today. 310 price target there for Apple. I just took some out, Obi, hand to God. 250.35, a little bit more out right there. I only have about 60% now of my initial position. Let's go, but we are at day's high right now for ye old account because we got out of some more Tesla. Obi, we have this stock visualizer that I want to go through again.
How's that going?
That's what we're going to find out right now. I believe it was Robinhood Tempest at the top right now. Let me just pause this for a little bit to have a quick look. BoxL up. BoxL's only up 500%. Let's go find out. Adara, shout out to Adara. If we can get information on BoxL right now, we'll get that. Okay. Adara's looking at that. BOXL. GameStop as well here, IREN, Robinhood, and then there's your open door down 7%. So that's definitely what's up, Adara.
There is no news on Boxlight, as far as I can tell. Okay. Yeah, there's no news. The last news item here was as of September 17th, and there wasn't even any news there. It just said it's running.
Oh, my birthday. Okay, so yeah, happy birthday to BoxL shareholders. Adara, I feel like she'll find something here because, yeah, like 200 million shares, like 120 million shares right now, Adara. I feel like there's something here. Nice move higher there for BoxL today. Those of you in the chat, help us out if you see something, but there it goes. Nice move there for Box. And if we look here, I'm not even sure. I got to figure out what this company even does. But it could also be, honestly, a low float name that just broke above 260 right there. I mean, look how good this looks on that break there today. This is the kind of setups that you're looking for on a name like this, because if you can find it, and then you have a short float as well. So let me just see. I'm going to throw Boxlight. She does have news, so just hold on a second. 2 million shares right now on the float in general. It doesn't look like a short issue, but Adara's got more.
Yeah, so people are attributing this to its earnings beat over a month ago. I'm going to be honest, Sean, there really isn't much news on this. I mean, last week, so on the 16th of September, they did announce this rollout of new displays. Again, nothing like breaking or within the last couple days to explain this pop. Now, there is no short float of any note on this. Float of 2.2 million shares. So the float itself is relatively small. Market cap, $17.22 million. So relatively small market cap, small float. No significant short float, and news from last week. Again, people are also attributing this to their earnings report last month. So there just generally seems to be a lot of confusion as to why this is running. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Oh, what is that? Look at that. That's interesting.
What the hell?
Desk?
Oh, a desk buddy. Where do I find that? I don't have brown shoes. Come on. We actually had something funny when there was, that's kind of cool though. Thanks for doing that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's fun. Oh, I have the shine on my face. I got to go put makeup on. Don't tell anybody that we wear like this sort of fade. Did you put yours on?
I almost never put anything.
Oh, you just have the natural.
Sometimes I get a little shy. Yo, trading can be a little sweaty, man.
Yo, man, yeah.
Whoa, hello.
Palms weak. Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah, there. Yeah, see, that's a serious one. That
Mr. Kashif? Why does it say Mr. Kashif?
Don't worry about why it says
Oh, boy. Who is that?
Look how buff you look in the like the box.
Yeah, I mean, in the box, yeah, for sure.
Like you're looking crazy there on the picture of that box.
That's awesome, dude. What do you?
By the way, you now have StubHub shares.
Hey, yo,
they finally got approved there for you, my guy.
The trade is still there.
There it is. You know, our broker realized if Obi wants shares, we better give him the shortable shares ASAP.
The short's already been working.
Right there, I know. So, and by the way, oh boy, man, we're in cloud 9 here today because there goes StubHub. There goes StubHub. There goes SOFI to the upside again right there. I mean, guys, it's at Trader TV Sean, 55,000 followers. Get over there. Apple long, that's the #1 trade for me today. The P&L #1. Intel short. We'll wait for that one. And then there's the SOFI long at 29. We're long at 29.05, 40 cents now in the money as that continues to push higher and higher. All right, I'm going to go get rid of some of this shine on my face and be right back, okay, Obi? Yes, so give me 30 seconds and kill these guys with kindness. Let's go big time upside right now for Apple. That's the one I think that we're excited for. I'll be right back.
I mean, we're kind of just chopping and churning here on Apple. Like I said, sustaining 250 halves pretty well, but we're starting to slow down. But here's the thing: the futures are trying to take another leg up on this second 15-minute candle here on the Nasdaq and the ES. But guys, exciting news for sophisticated Canadian traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P, TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3x daily to learn some more. There's that 250 coming in here on Apple once again, and I'm like, this is kind of chopping and churning pretty for a long time. And 440 on Tesla, so Tesla was definitely the one with a little bit more oomph there to the upside and pushing even higher. Again, that build up on a higher time frame for Tesla, man, has been absolutely wild, and it makes sense.
What is SOFI?
It's just kind of continuing with some good pressure here. Apple might take a little bit longer. This 250 is definitely interesting, and we're spending a little bit longer than I'd like in and around this area, but still sustaining above VWAP as of right now, as the markets also kind of sustain near their highs. So I like it for now, but again, where is the next trade is what I'm asking. So let us know in the chat. Make sure you do the vote and let us know what you guys are looking at, what you guys want us to watch as well. And oh boy, some of these names that I was looking at in the morning, nothing too crazy happening right now. Intel, not really pushing up. Amazon, a little bit to the downside there as well. Apple strength. We're already participating in that one there. Oh boy, Amazon was a pretty aggressive sell off of the open. And then Tesla, obviously one of the most relatively strong when it comes to the Mag 7 here on the day today. So people talking about Palantir. Okay, so Palantir, let's take a quick look at Palantir. I don't know what that one's been up to. Palantir, okay, a little bit of a shake and bake happening here on Palantir today. Nice little flush off of the open, but holding up pretty well off of that 179 pre-market low as well. So yeah, Palantir looking good there, but trading within its opening range as of right now. And Apple's still holding that 250. I'm just staring down this tape, man. Buyers keep coming in. There were a couple of wipes up into the ask. They're about 30 to 40 pennies at a given time above that 250, and we're holding as of right now. So I still want to continue to see that buyer dominance as both the Nasdaq and the ES continue to print some fresh highs. So let's see if there's going to be that bit of a buying confluence happening here. AMD, Sean, AMD also moving pretty nicely here, along with, I guess, SMCI showing us some strength as well when it comes to my chip basket. So good stuff here. A lot of strength on the names that did kind of push off of the open, and yeah, some good opportunities nonetheless. So keep on throwing up those stickers in the chat so we can take a look at them. Lane Carter saying SOFI flying. We already know that. Dude. Sean is all over that one.
Oh boy. And by the way, okay, we have a thing for this too. We're reloaded.
Oh boy.
Intel short.
Happening. Oh, nice. Yeah, that 30 level short was great last week as well.
So we're trying that there. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, and then there goes SOFI.
Oh boy.
I mean, look, okay, come on, Apple. Apple is pushing the top, man. Push those boundaries. Come on. I need to go get an Apple.
Push it
to the limit. Yeah, exactly. Good old tune there. All right, 2 times daily goal. Look, the thing is like we're starting to get up now. So we also didn't mind a 30 break on SOFI. But like 75 cents in on this name, like that's quite a nice move. Now green, it was starting to start the day red. Let's put an offer at 80 and see what it wants to do right now. That Intel trade's pretty good, but we're light. We have the same amount of shares on SOFI and on Intel, and we've actually gotten out of about half of our SOFI trade. So I'm not as convinced on that Intel short that I probably should be because it is working. I didn't put as much risk into it. And then right here, Obi, like I know this is a big position for both you and I, but I'm taking a little bit more out on Apple right now. It's touched out too many times up here, and I've just been like, look at me emptying the clip up here. And look, I still want it to go, and that's been that's like a demon that I have to battle with, is that like I see the P&Ls and stuff like that, and it's like we're done. Like we can go to the gym, whatever. We can go to whatever. At this point, we're done. Like we've hit some of our goals, but that doesn't mean that it can't go a lot higher. And my problem is that I drop the stock and don't let it go. And it's like by the time it finally goes, and we talked about that on Friday. Remember, I got out here at 245 after being long at 240 on Friday, but I only had like 5% by the time it got up here. We were exiting the clip, actually, like a lot of it at VWAP here for like $1 and change. And then it started to go. So I'd hate for that to be happening with Apple right now, and then the bust through happens. So I'm going to take another opportunity right here to get out of a little bit more in the 80s if we can do that, and then we'll watch for it from there. But Rigetti and some of the quantum names. Now, this was another play that we had on. What we had written down on our note today was Apple long, Intel short, SOFI long, and then I just labeled out all of the quantum names because I was not sure which ones were going to go, because the story is QUTM, I think, had an offering or something, but they were just...
QUBT.
QUBT, perfect. Had an offering, thank you, Adara. And there goes Rigetti. And I said, let's wait. I mean, all that we wrote down on here, and again, it's not... This is for everybody to trade. Like, it's not, these are just the ideas that I have. Like, it was basically waiting for some sort of support, then long. Like, I couldn't find any levels for it. But now it looks like we finally do have something down here around 26 for Rigetti. Let's go look at QBTS. Has that also popped? And oh boy, here goes Apple, Obi. And I'm starting to feel some kind of ways because now we're starting to go back upside. So the same thing happened for QBTS, flush down for D-Wave, and then boom, a nice huge move back up. Okay, let's let this day just become special now, Obi. Like, let's see if this can really continue to fly higher now. I have still about, I'm trying to do the math here, about 40% or so left of Apple. I'm going to take another 5% right here at, wow, now it's fading out. So at 251, see if, there it is. We just took it at 95. Now let's wait to see if it can get going a little bit. But I like the quantum space now long. We've obviously got SOFI pumping here, and then we've got Intel doing wicked stuff for us as well. But now bouncing off VWAP, let's put another bid down here for Intel. Losing my voice, but not losing my way trading-wise.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that 251's coming in with the market strength, pretty aggressive. 251.28 are the high on Apple, and we're kind of chopping and churning on that first dime on top of 51s right now. Here comes the 20s. Let's see if we can push that 28 and press a little bit higher. Yeah, breaking out of the day high after we've pulled all the way back into VWAP. Yeah, maybe some shorts. Definitely a little offside. I personally like that reversion to VWAP, and normally I might take that. But again, bigger picture, Apple is kind of breaking out on a higher time frame. So even though the short scalp I really, really like, normally I'm trying to get a little bit uncomfortable and push a little bit the other way there, trying to get involved with the higher time frame kind of trend here. But yeah, let's see if it works out. VWAP's all the way down at 250 now. So VWAP's finally kind of curling above that 250 on one of my charts, and almost there here on the P Pro as well. So let's see how well that can potentially come in. We're almost coming into the close of the hour hour here, Sean, with only about 3 minutes left going into 10 o'clock. So the first half hour, pretty decent, pretty eventful. Strongest stocks, I would say, would be Tesla and Apple, not as strong as I'd like it to be, but definitely showing us some good strength on the day today. And a lot of people talking about some of these other names as well. Open and BBAI as well, looking interesting. I see that.
You like anything over there on Open Door?
Yeah, nothing really, man. I like it for a potential backside, but Open Door has been kind of just it's holding levels pretty well, right? So here, let's go to I'm just going to go to an hourly. So this consolidation, we're holding this really well. We're chopping in around $8.50 to $11 here. So I like this. I'm personally maybe looking for a backside, but if it's going to hold that, I still really do like the long thesis on that name. Bit of a stair-step squeeze. We know people are definitely offside. We were talking about Shkreli just covering his short position, this morning or something like that. So I think I saw somewhere on a post that he was negative $3 million unrealized.
Exactly. So, I saw, but who knows? Neil's obsessed with Martin Shkreli, so we can leave that for him there. He's talking about, he just looks at the quantum plays and stuff like that with Martin Shkreli. Oh my God, here is
another one,
followed by
another one,
and then we'll have to find
another one.
Like, it's just Uber. New all-time highs. I believe this is for Uber. Right now, there it goes, man. I mean, are you taking any rides these days? I mean, there goes Uber right up through
a lot of Uber.
You're right. I mean, this is the thing.
Uber Eats all the time, man.
Continues to, and Uber Eats, perfect. I mean, this is continuously going upside right there on UBER. So I'm not sure if there was an upgrade or whatever today, but I think it's probably technically breaking through that $100 marker. And there it goes. Now, we do have consumer confidence flash coming through. So just for everybody to review this, we'll go to Adara. We'll go to Adara a little bit early for this because I thought we had at 10 o'clock a number, but maybe we don't. Okay, I'm hearing it in my ear. We have Fed talking. We already have the Chicago numbers. We have Fed's, Musalem coming at 10. So no, we will not be covering that in depth or anything like that. So Fed talk at 10. Okay, we'll wait on that one and see if there's any market moves because this is what the Fed is doing right here, and it's first of all, Apple is extending right now. SOFI is almost $1 in the money right now as well. But this is what we're talking about for the October meeting right now. There's still a chance that we do nothing, I guess, but it looks like there's a quarter point are the biggest odds right now for a quarter point rate cut there in October. What's up there?
Yeah, speaking of Fed here, we'll take a look at the market. This is the S&P 500. We've had a lot of Feds be pretty cautious about rate cuts going forward. We know last week, Kashkari was pretty cagey, saying that the Fed could even hike rates if they decide they need to based on economic data. Fed's Bostic also being a bit hawkish here. This was published in a Wall Street Journal exclusive interview saying that he sees, quote, little reason to cut rates further as of this point. A lot of these Feds here, while acknowledging that they don't really think there's a case for further rate cuts based on inflation, they do acknowledge that rates could have to be cut specifically due to employment concerns. Now, tons of Fed speak, as we had indicated by Sean there. Comments are already coming from Fed's Musalem. He's saying that tariffs are adding to inflation and there's not full, evidence here of how that is going to be impacting prices. So again, more hawkish or cautious comments coming through. Fed's Myron speaking at 12 p.m. Previously last week, we had Fed's Myron indicate that his comments today will include his explanation of why he voted for the 50 basis point rate cut. So that'll be certainly of watch. Keep an eye out for 12 p.m. Also, Oracle is going to be on watch here. ORCL, Safra Katz, who was the CEO for the past 11 years, she's going to be appointed as their vice executive chairman there of their board. Now, they've also promoted two internal company members here, Clay Maguric and Mike Cecilia, to be CEO. Of course, there's also the TikTok deal on watch and a potential cloud deal with Meta. META on watch on its own as well. This gap, there's some info missing in the chart, but Meta on watch here. Also with some government announcement here for their Llama AI models. And last but not least, Apple AAPL pushing to high of day. Shout out to Sean and Obi, who are both in this. Wedbush with a bullish note in the stock. Before we send you back to the guys, take a moment to thank our friends at OGEN, because each year more than 3.8 million concussions are reported in the US, but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. OGEN is the ticker for this one. Back to you.
Like, what's going on over here? Obi, thanks. Let's go, Obi.
Let's go.
You and I, we are that.
Go.
I mean, I just said to Obi, did Apple just release like the first ever flying car or something like this? Like, Apple right now is just extensione, nicely done to the upside right now. I still got a quarter left, but oh boy, is this one starting to go. There goes Apple. It is your trade of the day right there. That's a fact, Jack, says Mike Peter Ryder. And there it goes, man. Moon City right there. That's $1 plus $2 on Apple, but this is a $29 name that we just got out at 30. So, I mean, this is starting to go as well. And then I looked over at Joe and I was like, what kind of a day are we even having when there goes Intel back into its day's low as well. So there's been some talk also about Webull here on the chat. Wow, what is going on, Adara? Any news on Webull? I don't think so. I think it's just Webull got hit and might have found a little bit of a base. You know, I'm long this one in my own account. Someone's buying. What am I hearing in my ear about Cardano?
No news on Webull. I'll keep an eye on Carvana. I know Eric Jackson teased some announcement today, and he's previously been involved with Vana, so I'll take a look.
All right. Okay, so we'll keep our ear to the ground on that one. The Nasdaq, brand new all-time highs right there. So we'll say to that as, yeah, the Nasdaq right now making moves. That's for sure. And on the back of probably the strongest name, man, Apple right now, huge move. Tesla, though, OB as well, man. That's 443. Like, oh boy, to rewind that about an hour when I said, you know, the first level, we did not want VWAP because that was probably too early. I said, what about the 200 period moving average? It touched it, and now we're up, we're just up $15 from there as we continue to go higher. Okay, so we didn't change our daily goal, but we may need to do it. It's now 3x on this Apple. So great trade over there for us. You're out now?
Yep.
Okay, good. So why don't we discuss, let's discuss what you're seeing by getting out, but what a great trade and what a great hold.
So I just told you before before we came back from Madeira that I did leverage up pretty aggressively into this push. You can see that I had conviction on the 250 hold, and it showed me that VWAP was getting bought up pretty well multiple times. This is a 1 minute chart now. So you can see here holding that initial push, that 49 halves, any pullbacks holding and sustaining above that. I was buying and buying only for a potential push. And again, with the market tailwind on our side, I like it a little bit more. I have even more conviction, and you can see I'm buying going into the highs, looking for that little bit of a squeeze push on Apple, and that's basically what it did. 10 o'clock, no numbers, but still volume coming into the market there. 251.30s was that high, and as soon as we kind of broke, we chopped around a little bit there, gave me time to add as we sustained that 251, and oh boy, off to the races off of that breakout. 251.50s just rips up to 252s, and then we start to stall, and I'm like, all right, I'm already posted out, pushing out of most of it in and around going into 252s, and then on the backside when the bids start getting wiped into, I get out of everything there as well, because I think my average ended up being, because I had pieced out of most of my inventory from down here, so my average was 251s and some change, so a lot of it just from this push. And this trade right here, this breakout trade, is slightly a different trade in my opinion than the initial push trade through for taking inventory into 250. So I got rid of this inventory here, and then this scalp as well, got rid of that on the backside of the 252. So was pretty straightforward, bit of a chop on Apple, but honestly, Tesla was the one for me, man, and I didn't even participate. We talk about that 433.50s high, that consolidation high from last week. We break out of the weekly high, and guess what? We're trading almost 10 points higher at 443 halves. So bit of a miss. I took 2 points or a point and a half on Apple, but Tesla's up almost 10 points. So, you know, it is what it is. You get what you can get, and you don't get upset. So where's the next trade? That's what I'm
You can get upset.
You could definitely get upset.
No, but I think that's, I don't know, it's kind of like defeatist attitude all the time, and I hear it often here as well. It's like, sure, you know, you want to get all the trades, But at the same time, you could be upset if you leave a little bit of money on the table, if you miss an opportunity. But to your point as well, you can't trade everything.
Yeah, you can.
You know, and it's just like, that's like, even these 3 positions, and like, they're all working out. SoFi's $1, Intel's huge right now, although I told you I had the same shares in Intel and SoFi. And now we actually have double the now shares in SoFi that we do Intel, because we're starting to get it out as it's in the 200 period moving average. But all you can really do is stick to a plan, right? I mean, and sometimes we'll miss it, and that's why I'm glad that we talked about Intel or Tesla, at least for some of those traders that are in it. Looks like you might have topped out near the top there for Apple. So Trump is signing TikTok order later this week, is what we're hearing right now in my ear. So we can go double check to see if Oracle is doing anything on that one. As it looks like TikTok will, if he's going to sign something later this week, it must be a deal that satisfies him and gives that U.S. sort of protectionism there into TikTok, potentially grabbing that algorithm and keeping all the data, I guess, North American side. All right, well, I just heard in my ear that now TikTok is getting extended an additional 20 days. So, you know, at least the talk is there right now. It looks like we can get that bottom. We talked about some of this 304, 305, but that never came into play. A nice top side trade for Oracle back into 312, 313. So, you know, so far so good right into there for Oracle. Look, if you guys are enjoying the show, 9,300 of you watching right now, hit the like, hit this. I haven't refreshed this. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. 984. Let's see if we can get that up to 1,400. If any of you are watching right now, it's a completely free program, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We did have Snapchat written down there as a possible trade earlier today. And yeah, there it goes, man. Right into that 930, 940. Oh. It's in, he's signing some sort of executive order. Adara's going to parse through everything, and I'm sure when she sees something worthy, she'll come through on all of that.
The executive order is related to TikTok. That's all it is.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. So if there is any more details about said order, yeah, exactly, then we'll get that. But there goes SoFi, man. I was almost going to take that break through 30, but didn't. We're long 20. I mean, it is. Oh, boy. TikTok algorithm will be operated by a U.S. entity. Just hearing all of this in our ear right now, yeah, a copy of the algorithm will be handed over to the U.S. group. This is what we're hearing right now in my ear, and it will be operated by a U.S. entity. Now, I don't know where this news is coming from, just hearing it in my ear, and Dara will confirm something right now.
So what I'm seeing is that the attribution I'm seeing is apparently the White House officials are briefing reporters on the TikTok deal. So it seems like this is coming from the White House itself. Either way, what they're saying here is that the algorithm will be retrained in the U.S. so that you can have the algorithm, I guess, that you like with TikTok, but it will be retrained specifically in the U.S. Also, reportedly, these individuals are saying that Trump is going to be extending the TikTok pause an additional 20 days. I'm guessing that's the pause on the TikTok ban. So it's going to be extended an additional 20 days. These extensions up to this point have each been 90 days. So 20 days shorter extension that implies we will likely get a deal soon. Again, Trump set to sign a TikTok executive order later this week as far as I am seeing. Back to you. If I get more details, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm just hearing a lot about Oracle in my ear right now. Oracle this, Oracle that. So it looks like Oracle is the play right there. What up, Fabian? How you doing, my guy?
He said Java.
Java?
Java?
Oh,
Oracle,
yeah.
Get it? You know, because he's drinking the Java.
Could always take some more Java.
Nice.
I want to drink some more water, but the Green Bay Packers is reminding me that they took a loss there yesterday.
Yeah, that was
not great.
Didn't really watch the game, but sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. They're 2-1.
When's the next game?
I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, probably Sunday.
People in the chat pointing out airlines. Airlines getting sold off, and yeah, interesting stuff. We heard, I guess, Michael Noss talking about some of that this morning as well. UAL to the downside. Look at that pre-market, a little bit of a volume in the chop there, some relative volume, and then flushing off of the open there as well on UAL. I checked American Airlines as well. American Airlines, similar story here with a strong sell-off, and then DAL, of course, Delta as well, looking very similar. So this whole sector kind of catching a bit of a sell here. What's up, Adara?
You just keep an eye here on some of these railway names, UNP, Union Pacific, and also CSX, both getting volume, and UNP in particular really pushing to the upside. The catalyst for this is that Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has announced over $5 billion to get America building safer, more reliable railroads. So $5 billion reportedly set to pour into these railroad buildings here. Of course, any railway-related tickers are doing well in this news. I also have more talk on TikTok, no pun intended. So apparently the TikTok deal will be closed 120 days after it's signed. And also with regards to the investors being involved, Donald Trump is reportedly searching for investors who are going to be patriotic towards the United States. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Adair, for all that. As I continue to look at some notes here and figure out what the next trade is, I just feel like with all this talk about Oracle and TikTok and everything, that eventually something right there. The full list of investors not finalized yet. Okay, so open door not doing a whole heck of a lot. We don't have to look at that. We looked at that box L earlier as well. Let's have a quick look at what that's doing. Box light. The only thing that we sort of maybe thought about was a break there of that 290, creating a huge upside play there, but we don't have a huge short interest on this, and maybe some play from last week's earnings, I think. But yeah, not really seeing too much right here yet on all of that. China's still yet to approve any TikTok deal, so I think you got to be very, very careful about not only what you're reading, but like what you believe. So just be careful with all of that. I would hope that there's a deal being done right now, but we sold Intel on our own PA last week. We got out of 25% of that, and that was about $1 and change ago. So Intel still making a move lower right there now as that. Again, we're huge in this one. We're 60 cents in the money. These are all three plays right now working out on the note, right? There's the Apple long, there's the Intel short, there's the SOFI long, and then we put down RGTI, QBTS, and IonQ looking for bids, and those bids already came, but we missed them on some of those names. A quick little look in, then we're going to go over to Obi. It's just going to give me an idea of what we want to talk about here live on the show. Tempest, Tesla, Oklo, Boxel, SOFI, Intel, Robinhood. These are all names that you guys have voted for there. Unpause it. You got to hit $, get into there. AMD, maybe we can have a quick look at. And I did buy some more NVIDIA in my own account here earlier today. We talked a little bit about that. So we can have a quick look at NVIDIA as well. But actually, I'm going to cover a little bit more down here of Intel. And there it is. We'll get a 35 as that continues to make lower moves here. Now 60 cents in the money there. $1.50 on Apple and $1 or so on SOFI as those names continue to make moves lower right there. I'll do a little bit of more of a macro market look. Let's go back over to Obi if there's anything that you're looking at right now, and then maybe we could talk about some of the broader moves.
No, I started looking around. I started looking around for a lot of opportunities. Great short on Intel, man. That was a bit of a miss on my part as well. I was shorting that same level last week, and I'm just telling the boys, like, supply was there last week, and supply is there.
I could show you the sticky note from Friday. It's like, right here, and it's the same thing. This is the sticky note from Friday. It says hard to see it, but at the very top there, try maybe this camera. It doesn't matter. It says Intel 2970. Who cares? It says Intel 2975.
Yeah.
And I remember when I ran into you in the hallway, and we talked about that. Yeah. I was like, I like that level short. Took a minute to print, and today it's working. So sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, so I started looking around for stuff to trade, and I'm just like, all right. StubHub was one. Got the shorts a little bit later because we kept on getting a little bit of a trouble there. But once I got them, now I'm kind of watching it here. We had a crazy shake and bake. This was actually real. A clip down to 1750s, a wipe up to 850s, and then slam back into VWAP. Now we're printing some fresh lows relative to this action that came in, almost at day's low at 1750, currently trading at 1756s on StubHub, and this thing has been selling off pretty aggressively since its IPO last week. Aggressive selling through that 25. That was really nice. I think Sean said he had that short as well, so shout out to that 25 short. And guess what? That was such a great short that it kept on coming in. Back-to-back jacks on this one to the downside, so swing shorts, oh boy, definitely this one has been a pretty good one here. See Apple coming back into 252s as well, so it seems like the buyers are definitely not done here on the day today, Sean. So, but got some news here. BTCC, 14 years, 0 hacks. Zero excuses. BTCC.com delivers when others don't. Trade Bitcoin up to 500 times, even Tesla, gold, and Forex. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you trade like them. Regulated in the USA, Canada, and Europe, trusted by 6.8 million traders. Trader TV Live exclusive. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and now so can you. Oh boy, that 252 is coming in right now here on Apple. So Apple potentially poised for some fresh highs here, 250 to 223. So we did get bought up on those lows here. So a bit of a miss on my part, not holding a bit of a chunk and not getting involved once again. But it is what it is. I'm going to be looking for that next opportunity. Buyers are definitely in charge here as of right now in this market. What's going on, Adara?
Yeah, keep an eye here on the market, specifically with regards to the TikTok deal. We're getting more comments coming from the senior White House official reportedly saying that the U.S. government is not going to be having equity in the TikTok deal and that no details have been finalized with regards to any fees that'll have to be paid. So again, no finalization here with the fees, and the U.S. government's not going to be having equity in the TikTok deal. Back to you.
Okay, well, that's good. I think that's always a good thing there. Government's taking equity. Obviously, we took some positions there in Intel. We talked a little bit about that. They've done it before, Boeing, GM, you know, different names like that to help sort of spark more action on those plays. But I don't know if this TikTok deal needs financing. It doesn't sound like it. I mean, some of these investors lining up, right, obviously to get their hands on what's been such a huge, hot commodity right now. But I don't know if Apple's involved in TikTok at all or not, but there goes Apple right now. Back up, as you just mentioned, back into all-time highs, almost all-time highs now for Apple. I just want to have a quick little look at what that is. And look, man, we reloaded the PA. We didn't reload it while we added to it, I guess, because we never got out down here once we broke, down into here on this break, 212. So that was a good one. These are the new all-time highs, 260. I said last week, give it to Thursday. Maybe we even get there tomorrow, right there on Apple. And relatively light news, right? All they did was release their new iPhone as scheduled, and Apple going ham to the upside. You know what ham stands for?
Oh, the slang? Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what it's doing right now, so check that out.
Hard as a momentum ticker.
Right, hard as, yes, momentum tickers. Very good. Ham tea.
Yeah, ham tea.
Yeah, okay, so it's going ham bone tea right now. But this is what the market is doing right there. We got a little bit more out on the upside. Always having great times with Obi. Want to thank you for filling in for Neil, who will be back in tomorrow. But he's already had a banger trade, so we want to say thank you to Obi for helping us with that Apple trade as well.
Yeah, that Apple was great, man. I mean, it came back up to the highs. It came
came back to highs, and then we're hosting a show over here. You can trade. No, I'm just joking. You don't have to get in any trades, and that Obi and I talk about that all the time. Like, trade your book and do not force something. We've both had absolute bangers and hit some of the goals.
Of course.
I mean, that we're looking for. Not that I don't know what your goal is, but when you're making money and it's a number,
professional trader.
Right. Well, then we got to make a little bit more money than what we're doing here. But yeah, we need to get going on just celebrating and enjoying profitable trades, because they are quite hard to come across. But let's just have a broader look now at the whole market, because we do have record all-time highs right now, both in the S&P 500 and in the Nasdaq, kicking off right now as the S&P turns green as well. Now, oh no, the S&P, is at zeros. It's the Nasdaq that's up 0.2 right now, not the S&P 500. My bad on that. But here we go. Let's have a quick look. I want to look at finance today, because that seems to be hovering and hitting right now the S&P a little bit, as you get big-time names like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Blackstone, BlackRock. Where's WFC right there, red as well. So the only green names here in the financials, it looks like we're holding on by very slimmest of margins right now, is Berkshire at zeros. Visa, nice upside move. I think Visa got hit too much on stable coins. I know Neil sold XLF, which was a while ago, which I'm sure he's not loving that play, but whatever. I sold some SOFI at 24, man. We sold some Palantir at 160. We got to make those plays. But right now, Coinbase, this is what I want to talk about, because we didn't actually talk crypto really at all today, but Coinbase down 2.5%. So we can have a quick, and I'm going to go over this stock heat map more in depth, but now that I see this, let's just quickly look at some of the crypto names. We had Bullish come out last week with a very bullish earnings report, Obi. It took everyone by surprise and sort of went from that 50 up to 70, and now today you're down 6.5%. We had Gemini space station, like why it's called that, I have no idea, but that's a nice upside play there. And then down now, as Gemini, sorry, has never been upside since their earnings, since their IPO, straight downside for Gemini, so that's not good. Names like Hut 8 continue to get hit as well here today, although that's $35. I remember selling this thing like in the teens. Wow, what a mistake that was. How Hut 8's been really escalating itself to the high side as well. And then Coinbase, this was a pick that I had earlier on in the year, and it hasn't been, it had its great runs, and obviously if we could sell something, you know, we talked about buying it at the beginning of the year, making this huge move up to 420 exactly. But, you know, Coinbase with the Bitcoin making moves down, I still think between 300 and 310 is an area there for Coinbase. So that would be something to look at. We will go over our crypto minute in a couple minutes, but for right now, seems like we're bouncing a little bit here on IBIT. But let's go over to Adara. I think she's got something for us.
Our daily crypto segment is now actually at 11:30 a.m., so stay tuned for that. We do it during the midday now, so definitely check that one out. Let's take a look here at the IWM. Nice, I guess, bounce here off of the daily lows right now, just kind of trying to find its direction a bit. We know that this is going to be very interest rate sensitive. Of course, the whole market can be, but small caps in the Russell 2000 tend to be extremely that, and keep an eye. Again, we have a lot of Fed speak, so this could be something to watch. Take a look here at BOXL. I've still seen no news on Boxlight last week, so this should be last Tuesday. They announced that they've started shipping Google EDLA certified Clever Touch Pro series products here to North American schools. So product announcement from last week for BOXL, and about a 2.2 million share float. Then we have RVSN, Rail Vision. I mentioned earlier that we're hearing that U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced that there was going to be about $5 billion or more that they're planning on investing in building railroads. That's going to be a good look for any stocks that are rail related. RVSN has moved in the past as well. Right now, it is a penny stock, though. Last but not least, keep an eye on MTSR, not to be confused with MSTR. MTSR is Metsera. This story you can read a little bit more about in our watch list, but basically, Pfizer was reportedly in a deal to acquire the company. Pfizer then confirmed later this morning that they are looking for this Metsera deal. Metsera does next generation weight loss drugs. So Pfizer, which of course has struggled to find a good obesity drug treatment, good look there for that company. This is MTSR, which again, still near days highs. And before we send you back to the guys, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. Did you know that instead of risking your own money, you can now trade with someone else's capital? No more fear of losing and no more moving your stop loss too soon. You actually get enough capital to make it worth your time. So you can aim for big profits, not just a couple $100 a month. That's a revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. This is how it works. Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, and keep 70% of the profits. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this market keeps on going, man. Great hold on Apple, man. Good stuff. That's solid stuff there. I got to learn a little bit from that because like it didn't really pull back that aggressively, right? It only pulls back into 251s, not even to VWAP. Again, signifying some more strength. Me, I got aggressive into the 51 push. That's why I was just like, all right, well, first sign of selling after that squeeze, I'm going to get out of this one, and then maybe reassess and get involved at VWAP once again. But oh boy, 51 was the area to get involved once again because that held really nicely, and you can see the confluence from the market tailwind as well. Both the ES and the Nasdaq pushing up for some fresh highs once again here on this 15-minute candle with only about 5 minutes left to close this one here. So decent look on that one. Microsoft as well. I know a lot of people were talking about Microsoft and some of the other tech names with the H1B visa news that came out on Friday over the weekend and stuff. So yeah, maybe a little bit bearish news, but I think there was more specifics that came out later, being like, oh, it's only for new issues of the H1B. Current holders don't really have to do that. Whatever. But interesting story unfolding on that front here. We know that a lot of the population, a lot of the smart minds that work at tech, a lot of them are foreign born. Right?
Foreign, okay. Yeah, right. So they need to come over through,
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, like a lot of these IT departments, there's just a lot of population comes from India and China, right? So it's like, Makes sense that things investors might be a little bit concerned.
What was it, up to 100 grand? It
doesn't 100K, like yeah, 100K per person. So it's like you're slapping on another 100K to the cost of your employee. So it's just like, all right, well, that'll definitely cut into some margins for sure.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I think that we got to watch out for. I mean, 100,000. We saw Meta was paying 7-figure plus deals just to like poach over.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that.
Can they afford it? Yeah, of course they can.
Yeah. But like you said, though, maybe it does hit some of the smaller names. Yeah. I think that sort of just extends the dominance of these Mag 7 players because they're just sitting on more cash than even countries. Like the amount of cash that these guys are sitting on, they'd have no need to raise capital or nothing. Didn't BM&R have a share offering or something today?
Yeah, this morning, and it just ate it all up.
It ate it all up. So that's good.
So BM&R, I don't know.
Michael
wanted to get.
Didn't he say something about Ethereum today? Was there what?
Yeah, I think he did mention. What the? He was mentioning Ethereum.
Okay, I got to talk to Joe about this because right now Ethereum is getting clocky. Ethereum all the way back into low August. Joe will talk about this when he comes on at 11. So, because I know that Joe and Sharif are definitely looking at these, especially options contracts. So I don't know how that's been affected today, but down 5%. And the thing is that when I look at this, I try to trade crypto right now almost like a normal stock. Like, it's just pulled back. If you like Ethereum, it's just like I bought NVDA today, right? On that dip, right? I like the stock. It dipped a little. It was down 1%. I bought it. So I was just thinking like right into here, down 5%. I don't really own too much Ethereum other than smaller amounts in ETFs. And I made a mistake, man. I sold at 2,500. But right here, Ethereum coming back into $30. ETHA coming back into 30 is definitely an area where it's bouncing off the 50-period moving average and realizing that, oh, thank you, Randy. I asked Randy, he said maybe, and I said, well, his shirt says no. So I said, we've got to make your shirt say yes. Thank you, Randy, for doing that. But if you missed that Ethereum bull run right now, sure you did. I mean, that bottom was epic down there. I mean, what a huge move higher. But you're kind of getting it back to Christmas levels, man. So Merry Christmas to all, and hopefully to all not a good night, because we don't want to say good night to the stock. We want it to wake up here and get back going to the upside. But you do have a little top there for Ethereum that we had seen back in December. So if you feel a little FOMO that you've missed the recent run up, you are now getting a little bit of a discount. Now, on crypto, I think 5% is an overnight move, obviously.
5% is a bit of a blip.
Right, that can get eaten back up in a heartbeat, but it is interesting that at least it comes back into some of those levels that we've seen before, potentially holding out. So thank you, Randy, for the coffee. I'm hearing in my ear right now about stable coins, so I'm not sure who's talking about them, Adara, but there is some talk right now about stable coins. So we can look at Circle. What is Circle's symbol again? CRC.
It's on NYSE, I think. No.
CRCL,
yeah.
CRCL. CRCL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Man, it's been a long ass weekend. All right, we were in what a drive that should have took like 3 hours 45 minutes last night took like 5 and change as there's construction.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. There's not even construction. Okay, so there was a part of the 400 highway. It was one lane that was, they're just expanding it. So they're doing great. Like, the city of, the provincial government has spent earmarked a lot of money into improving highways, which I think is great. But like, there was one lane shut down, and I understand why, but it's the weekend.
Yeah.
There was nobody working at all.
Yeah.
But there was about a mile or two of pylons just blocking off a lane, which makes sense. The lane is completely fine, but there was no construction equipment in it or anything. But I guess they don't want to remove all those pylons just to put them back up Monday morning early. So it's saving some time. It's being efficient there. But, oh, man, that took hours. What's up?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just want to let you know that there's nothing on stable coins. I'm not seeing or hearing anything. I guess now, this is just coming through now. I guess Feds Muslim saying that stable coins should remain payment instruments and not savings tools. That just came through like 14 seconds ago. But other than that, not much.
I'm that oracle, so I hear something a minute ago. I'm like making it happen. I was like, isn't there news on stablecoins? Go to Adara. No.
Boom.
30 seconds later. No, but we're both hearing it. Adara's searching everything all the time. We want to thank Adara for doing everything on the desk. Like, how amazing is that? It's like, is there something happening with Circle? No. She'll find it. Boom. Back and forth. So thanks, Adara, for all of that. And make sure you do tune in every single day, because like some of this, this always happens. Normally I'm not so graciously hosted here by Obi. We have our good friend Neil, who is coming back from Halifax, and barring a safe and he's feeling well and everything, he'll be in tomorrow. So, and if not, then Obi will be. Hopefully, are you able to?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if need be, Obi, the man, the myth, the legend, will be here one more time tomorrow with your.
Hopefully, we can get.
I'm sorry, I may be here, but hopefully Obi will be here for sure. There goes Apple right now. It's not $1. It's not $2 in the money. It just almost touched $3 right there. So shout out, thanks Obi, for the prop on that, as he and I really hit this trade pretty good here today.
I'm realizing I could have hit it even harder. That's the thing.
You could always,
like, you know what I'm starting to realize, Sean? It's just like, initially when I started off, I was in C size. And then as it started to show me that it's working, it's holding VWAP, it's holding 250, it's holding 251, the market strength is there, I actually pushed up into B+ size. And then when it starts to actually hold, I'm like, holy, this is starting to push into A territory just on the technical push. And that's when I'm just like,
show me on the chart where you think A territory happened, because
so that's because I'm already in from a little bit earlier, right? Okay. So it's just like, if you really look at it retrospect, oh boy, I gotta take these weights.
I can give you a second if you want to adjust your chart.
Restart that.
All right, throw it back over here, because Obi's chart just kind of crashed. Or do you want to go through?
No, I can go through with it. I just have to pull up. Give me 2 seconds. I'll just pull
come over here quickly, Andre, and we'll let him go. I just want to go over, because I didn't really get finished here, this sort of macro look here on the market. It's not a macro look, just an overall wider look at some of these names, because, whoopsies, I don't want to be part of that. Right there, the retail trade today, not strong at all, so that's kind of a little bit surprising. We're already through the interest rate cut period, and we've just started it, but that last cut, now it looks like we will get another one and another one into December, so it looks like 2 more rate cuts coming through. So I'm trying to pick up Amazon any dips. Costco does report. Are they tonight? I think Costco might be tonight.
Thursday night.
Costco's Thursday night. So who the hell said tonight anyways, Obi? Come on, man. You got to get your shit together, my guy. But there's Costco this week. So Thursday night, thanks to Dare for that immediately. I knew it was like one of the nights, like they're one of the bigger names, along with Micron this week as well. But yeah, we'll look at see if Costco can get going. I think at a 53 PE, it's too expensive for Costco. And we do have that website where we had the historical looks there. But right now, today, retail getting to the downside. But we all know that Amazon is much more than retail. So Amazon, for a stock to potentially look at, I think there's some potential love here for Amazon on any kickbacks, or kick lowers, down to the downside there for AMZN. And so I don't want to say I made a mistake. I was really happy buying some NVIDIA at these levels, but like this has been really good holding the 50-period moving average. I do get a little nervous if we do break it. Like if we open one day at 225, then unfortunately I do think there's a 220 and maybe a look down there at 215. I know a lot of their business is not derived from me going on and buying body wash or where the margins are there. There's not too much, obviously, in the retail side of things, but as Azure, as AWS, Azure's, of course, Microsoft, we already saw Google hitting 3 trillion market cap. The cloud is strong, and AWS is strong, right? They have Zoox, which is their automotive wing as well, looking to do that, but then there's competition from Waymo, which is Google as well. So as all of these like mega cap names continue to fight for very similar spaces, you are going to see some secondary names continue to win, right? And not that Uber's a secondary name. And by the way, Sharif, I don't know if you saw Uber today. 101. Ooh. Like this stock just like, like Sharif's a man about town taking Ubers everywhere. I don't know if that's true or not. But you mentioned that you're on Uber Eats. Right now, Uber Freight. And I think Lyft still works. We had a Lyft off with them last week as well. So Lyft and Uber. And as there's like a race to the top, these kind of companies right here, they still have a lot to go. I mean, these are relatively new businesses. Uber, sure, 20 years old probably, but the idea of Ubers, like my kids know all about Uber. Young kids love Uber. Yeah. Uber Eats has become very popular as more and more, traders and just general, I guess, work environment still continues to work from home. I think Uber Eats is something, and it's expensive to eat out. Like, I like going out, but like this weekend when we're taking the team out and everything like that, it's $20, $30 a plate. You know, plus you're grabbing a beer, you're grabbing a drink. That's put another $10 on that. Yeah. Then you're tipping 18 to 20%. Yeah. The next thing you know, a plate of spaghetti and a beer, my God, is like $50. Yeah. You know, and it's like Uber.
How did we get to 18% tips? That started rolling around sometime last year, right? How crazy is that? You're telling me I'm paying a 20% tip? That's wild. Like, pay your workers more, dude.
Okay, but
you know what I mean?
I get it. But the thing is that there isn't, as far as servers go.
Yeah.
I don't know where the margins are in restaurants.
Yeah.
Like one thing to say McDonald's or Starbucks should pay their guys more.
Yes.
But when you're going to a smaller business on King Street or whatever like that, that maybe only has one restaurant, it's maybe fine dining or something like that. Yeah. The service is there, you know. So I don't know what the right amount to tip is. To be honest with you, and I know it's very, you know, but it's like, I think if you tip based on service, and I think if you
saw a bill on like Instagram or something at a club in Las Vegas.
Well,
and they had like a $144,000 bill. You're paying 20% on that?
Probably.
$144,000.
I'll tell you why. If you're spending $150,000 at a club, yeah, you should probably be ready to tip, because honestly, it's like you're already a baller apparently if you're doing like that. But I agree with you, man. There are times when tipping is necessary and times when it's probably not. You know, the auto tipping is sometimes a problem, I find. You know, because you may not get good service, but then they automatically add.
Oh yeah, they add the gratuity. Yeah.
So I think there's a problem there, maybe. But you know, you're not tipping at the big chains. It's more the smaller places where I feel like you do have maybe a connection with somebody. They recommend a nice bottle of wine. I don't know. I just think that there is something there. Should I tip? No. You see? So this is what I mean. What's up, Justin? The only tip that I give to the car salesman is here's a tip, I may be coming back. You know, there's no you know, the amount of money that is made on a car sale right there. Like, how many, I mean, there's probably car salesmen in this chat. How many cars a month do you actually need to sell to make a decent living? I think it's probably a handful, right? 4 or 5 maybe a month. I don't know what the margins are on that anymore. I know Carvana is trying to eat that for lunch a little bit, right? When your only salesman is a machine, that might be something for Carvana, which is why that stock continues to go up. But I do think it's very industry specific. So I think barber, you know, you get, my haircut rate here is $40. I give the guy 50.
Yep.
Well, that's 25% tip. But that's a cash business. I love the cash business. I actually asked my barber if he takes Bitcoin.
And?
No, he doesn't take Bitcoin.
Oh, man.
I wish he did.
Yeah.
Take Cardano? I mean, you mentioned Dogecoin, service of payment, form of payment potentially for
I mean, you can get you can use almost anything, a lot of the cryptos, because they have that crypto.com card now, right? So it's just a crypto Visa card.
I get it.
It connects to all your crypto accounts, and then you
can just
more
Apple here.
Do a little bit of a tap, and it just comes out of your Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, right? So it's I think
I've paid one time with something. With crypto, I can't recall exactly what it was, but I remember doing something, because it's not the minute it gets widely accepted on like an Amazon or something like that. But I think that's what the Genius Act and what stable coins are trying to come.
The only thing that I've ever bought with ETH was a couple of NFTs back in the day.
Yeah, it's like, why? Like, I barely have no hair. Like, what am I even paying anybody to do this for? To me, it's about the relationship. Randy and I go to the same guy. I mean, you've got a gorgeous set of hair. Or is it called set of hair? No, I don't know what it's called. Head of hair.
Head of
hair. That makes more sense. I feel like for the barber, it's like a relationship thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have great talks with the guy. Like, we've been going to our friend Halim here for almost a decade, maybe even more than a decade. So it's building that relationship and sitting down there and talking with the guy for a half hour.
For sure. No, I think when it comes to barber, the service is a little bit different, I think, because
it's more personalized, right?
Yeah, of course. And I go to the one just down the street here as well. I don't think it's the same. Yours is closer to Earl's, right? The guy right in front of Earl's.
Right across.
Yeah, right across. So it's
called Ralph's.
Ralph's. Yeah.
You should go there if you want. He's a great. I mean, I don't know how often if you have a guy, but it's really.
Yeah. No, I'm just down the street. So it's like some barbers, they don't like using a blade.
Okay.
Like that's to like line up and clean it, but I like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if a barber is willing to do that. I went to this place a couple of times and I was like, can you please use a blade, a straight razor to clean it up and everything? And he's like, oh no, it'll be better with the machine. And I was like, dude, like
You're asking for something.
I'm asking for something. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and then I finally found a barber that's willing to have that conversation and very comfortable with a blade. Yeah, for sure, he deserves everything. So
you know what it was that I bought with Bitcoin? I bought a pizza about like 25 years ago.
Oh yeah, you were that guy.
I can't remember exactly the amount.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's probably fine by now. So, all right, what's up, Adara?
It's time to talk about these sectors. Both the Nasdaq and the SPY relatively flat on the day, and I think you can really see that reflected in this heat map. There are very few, I would argue basically no sectors that are giving you a clean sense of direction. The two that I would argue are maybe the most directional are retail trade, which is, as Sean mentioned earlier, super weak, and transportation, which is generally really strong. I want to talk about transportation because it's the sector where we tend to have clear catalysts. Uber to the upside, I couldn't find an Uber-specific catalyst, but Pony AI, which Uber does have a previously announced partnership with, they're expanding in Singapore, and they're also promising to expand their driverless rides to other regions soon. So that could be what's happening here with UBER. UNP, though, and CSX, these railway names are also to the upside as we get the promise that there's going to be a big railway investment here from the U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy. So that's what's happening there with Uber and these railway names. Consumer non-durables has Tesla strong, everything else pretty weak. Health technology a bit mixed. Consumer non-durables mixed, but generally red. Producer manufacturing really mixed. Caterpillar, the largest component in the sector, to the downside, while AMET and LRCX, so these more semiconductor-associated names, are actually pushing higher. Finance relatively flat, and technology services, all of the Meg 7s in this group are a little bit flatter, but Oracle to the upside again, announcing new CEOs as Safra Catz, the company's former CEO, will be now moved to an executive chair position. IBM and CRM also light green. And then if we go to electronic technology here, Apple, nice look to the upside with a positive note from Wedbush's Dan Ives, but a lot of the other names here are a little bit mixed. So long story short, if you're looking for a direction, retail trade to the downside and transportation to the upside are probably the cleanest examples here. Back to you.
All right, I mean, this is exactly, we want to thank Glaze. Thank you so much for that stacks right there. So it's a smooth 10. So Glaze is a barber for 17 years, and that's definitely a relationship. Because the thing is that you're going to find, so thank you so much, Glaze, and I hope all your trades will eventually not blow up like that, but like a cow will come with a tray of money, basically. You know, maybe the cow gets a haircut as well. So shout out to all the barbers out there. And I do love the fact that it's a cash business there, Glaze. I'm always looking for more businesses that are cash related. And of course, ours is the complete opposite of that, as you have to declare all of your trades. And there's definitely a paper trail for trading. But and that's the thing. So okay, that was great. Great talk. Thank you, Obi, for all of that. And I think that if you guys are liking that, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Again, glad to have Obi here with us one more time here today, but the Nasdaq continues to climb through, man.
There's no sellers. I talk about buyer dominance.
Well, I mean, what would you be selling?
It's only been buyer dominance.
So the only
airlines.
Oh yeah, you talked about airlines before. We got long on this dip. I'm not going to sit here and get out of NVIDIA, but I do like the strong names, and we were able to buy some NVIDIA in the old PA there today. We had Palo Alto, just to flip it up a little bit. We've been talking a lot about, isolated names. Palo Alto does make a brand new high as well today, and look at that breaking through 210, but then coming back in. I'm just talking about 52-week highs. Oh, sorry about that. They had that split there, but all right. So there's Palo Alto right now. You know what? I got to show it on our other chart here because CrowdStrike's been really working. The hack ETF is another idea there. Here's PanW right now. I just want to find out what the 52-week high was. Yeah, 210.39. So we extended through that there today. Oh no, we didn't. We only got to 209.50. But this is an interesting break here for Pan. Right, so Palo Alto looking like it wants to get going as well as cybersecurity strong. It's brother CrowdStrike again, baby brother. I mean, CrowdStrike was born about 50 years after Palo Alto, but there it goes right now. They're trying to go higher as well. What a great bounce off the 200 period. Buy good companies in spaces that you like when they get into that 200 period moving average. A little look at crypto here quickly as we get on. There is a crypto minute that Adara will go over. Many of the stories that's happening in about 45 minutes at 11:30. So if you're interested in that, the crypto market is taking a hit now as we go below 4 trillion there today. Not a great day for crypto, that's for sure. Not a great week either, but most of that action has happened in your last 24 hours. So, and the reason why I say it wasn't a great week, I actually thought Obi and everybody else that crypto would rally just like the Nasdaq is. Like the Nasdaq, we said, what's a better investment, crypto or Nasdaq? I mean, I still think the Nasdaq gives you that more stability if you're looking for some get up to it. I mean, crypto does have that capabilities as well, but as Nasdaq touches all-time high, Bitcoin's still off 10% from its all-time high, now down to 113. Ethereum, similarly, I think this is down about 20% from its all-time highs, as I believe it ticked near that $5,000 level there, so down 800 on $5,000. Sorry, 10%, just over. Yeah, 10 to 15% off on that one, almost 20% if we get down a little bit lower there right now. Ripple's a name that I like. I recently bought at 280, did not sell any, so that might be pie in this guy's face as well. Solana, ouch, down 7% today. It's easy to celebrate when names are going up, but you have to understand that this is part of the game. You know, if you want to scalp in and out, you can do that, but to try to hold and find some value, it's tough right now in the crypto space. Dogecoin down 9% right now. Cardano, the other big guy, down 6%. So they're all starting to float around here and going a lot lower now in the space. Because I always say, what's the next catalyst, right? Your friend there, Mr. Lee, has, again, had an offering, got bought right back up there today, and now it's trying to go a little lower. So BMNR, as some of these treasury deals continue to go. But where's $3 in the money on this Apple trade, and we still do have 10% left, so that's decent as we try to hold on to this play as that's going higher right now up 3%. The number one trade on here, we said breaking through 250 is a trade that we want to take. Never really went against us, did it, Obi? I mean, really, we ticked down a little bit into 249.80, but if I'm going to hold 20 cents to make $3,
yeah,
we'll ride that bull.
It's a pretty good RR.
I mean, I've had worse, man. I mean, and then look exactly what we're doing on Intel. We have Intel here as, this is a trifecta of trades today. I only have 3 trades, and they're the number 1, 2, and 3 ideas here on the note, right? I mean, we're going to go back over to Adair in a second. We only have 13 more minutes, and then there's a ridiculous thing there. Thanks, Ramin, or whoever made this. That was pretty funny right there. But here's Intel, Apple, and SOFI. We posted them all up here, and these are the number 1, 2, and 3 trade. Only 3 trade ideas today, along with the quantum long. But SoFi, Intel, and Apple. Apple long, Intel short, SoFi long. And this is what they look like on the chart. There's Intel short, low of the day right now. So we'll say bang on that one, Obi. Not only is SoFi working, we wrote down 29. This was at 29.50 at open. We wrote down 29. That came in. So that's trading well, and we've already talked about Apple. So we'll go trays right now on that one, and really excited too. I'm going to the Maple Leafs home opener tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we got golds. So we're sitting at decent seats there. It's only the preseason, so hence can afford some golds. But Apple now is, and we're going to go to Adara. I'm not sure if Adara spent any time clubbing, but that's $1, $2, and $3 now in the money on Apple. And we said we always like to hold for this kind of a play. Well, I'll take some out right now at 253.10. So there's another out for us as we hold about 8% left on Apple. All-time highs, ES and NQ. What's up, Pitchbull? We talked about this. All right, let's go back over to Adara and see what she's cooking up.
Yeah, I do have some non-money talk related news to kick it off with, and it has to do with Nike. Nike's actually been incredibly strong all morning, although actually right now, of course, as I say that, it's pulling back a bit. As of 10:30 a.m., they did announce they're going to be rolling out their Nike Skims product line in September 26th. This just started circulating around social media now, but actually getting announced again about 15 or so minutes ago. Let's talk about the US dollar, which is trying to form a little bit of a base after making its new low of year very briefly on Wednesday, September 17th. That was, of course, Fed Day when we got that 25 basis point rate cut as expected. Now, the one Fed member who actually dissented with that rate cut, voted for a 50 basis point cut, Fed's Myron, he'll be speaking in just over an hour at 12 p.m. Now, last week, he indicated that his comments today are going to include his reasoning for voting for that 50 basis point cut. So this could be really interesting. Definitely stay tuned. I want to talk as well here about the CME Fed Watch tool. 10% of participants are expecting we will not get a rate cut. 10% of participants expecting a hold, but another 90% of participants expecting that we're going to be getting a 25 basis point rate cut at this October 29th meeting. Now, another look here at our Fed infographic. Myron, of course, will be speaking, going to be at the far right here. He'll be speaking at 12 p.m. Also speaking at 12 p.m. are going to be Barkin, as you can see here, and then also Fed's Hammock. Now, we already had comments coming through earlier today from Fed's Muslim. He's going to be in the bottom left side here. Basically, Fed's Muslim talked a little bit about stable coins. They should be used for payment, but not necessarily for savings. And much like a lot of other Fed speakers we've had, he was a little bit more cautious when it came to cuts going forward. Now, Fed's Bostic, in an exclusive Wall Street Journal interview, was also very hawkish, saying that right now he doesn't see any case to cut rates further. Back to you.
Oh boy.
I love, like, I have no idea how old Muslim is or anything like that, but I love how these guys are like, they're telling you like, hey, stable coins are great for payments, but like not great to hold. Like as if this guy's ever held a stable coin. But anyways, we'll just talk about that. These guys, you know, they got to get paid to talk about something. So let them talk about stable coins. I like Tether and USDC and even Coinbase now paying you 4.5% to hold your money there. I think it is worth holding and getting that 4.5%. But you have to remember something. All these Feds are going to keep talking because if you don't hold your money in stable coins, where are you going to hold it? Fiat or big banks. Like it's just going to be in your savings account or something, right? So obviously, you know, as a lot of these guys get their back scratched by a lot of these big banks, they're going to talk down stable coins. So at me or not, but that's my opinion. So anyways, we're starting to cover some SOFI here as we finally break the 50-period moving average going back down to the downside. So watch out here. I just covered some more in and around 30, whether or not it's right or not. We got to get to the gym, man. We're going to put some swimming on here. Although I feel fine. My throat is just from, you know, I saw my niece and nephew this weekend. They're so goddamn cute. Or maybe I'll post something up about that. And we had a great time all weekend. But anyways, always need more sleep, though. Always need sleep. Sure. Sleep is one of those things that is absolutely priceless. And then I feel like I get FOMO when I sleep, you know.
What do you mean?
Because I could be doing other things instead of sleeping.
Oh, like during the day?
No, even like at nighttime. Like, yeah, like sitting there with my wife, like watching TV and blah, 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 and just talking with her and doing whatever. It's 10:30, it's 11, doing whatever, talking, watching this. It's like, I probably should have gone to bed at 10, you know, and get more sleep and wake up feeling energetic, but I want to spend some time, you know, so I'm always feeling like, I don't know.
Good, good to do on the weekends, especially, right? It's just,
yeah, I'd like to have some free time, that'd be for sure. There goes Apple right now, $3 plus.
High, just market
in the money right now, was that a call for Adara? Let's go see what she's up to.
Yeah, keep an eye on BETR. This is Better Home and Finance Holdings. I did mention earlier today that Eric Jackson, the individual who has been given a lot of credit for Open Doors' recent rally, he teased earlier today that he was going to post his next 100 bag or his next big investment idea on X. That idea is BETR. So BETR now being touted by Eric Jackson. He said that EMJ Capital is now long the company. So keep an eye on this name. Again, this is the same man that has been credited with the open door pump and the same man that sat outside Drake's house and is still standing outside Drake's house trying to get him to buy shares of the company. BETR, for some context here, market cap of $565 million and float here of 5.14 million shares. Almost 9% of that is going to be sold short. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, just people in the chat talking about a bunch of these stocks. Sorry, say again?
No, like...
Halted up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to interrupt you. That's why I was like, I wanted you to keep talking. Yeah. No, but it's like, I don't know. This is how, like, I mean, it's great to disclose that. And obviously when you do, something like this is going to happen. But you know what I mean? It's like these rich guys just keep getting richer on the back of retail. And I hope that retail could come in and absolutely annihilate this stock. But like, imagine putting in a couple $1 million or however many EMJ Capital, whatever, put in there. And then it's like, it's 33, like they've just been slowly buying it, knowing that on this day they're going to release, like that they're long this name. I mean, and they're allowed to do it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And if anything, I'm hating on this because like I wish we were involved, as I'm sure we all are. But like, there it goes. So this is what I mean about like how smart are these guys? Like, okay, my name's Tom Lee. I'm going to invest, $100 million in whatever that one was, QMMM or whatever, and then I'm going to announce that I do it, and then it goes up 1,000%. So it's just like I get it, and there goes the move up there for better. So I hope that we can all bet on this stock and somehow win. But right now the tap is at $72, and looks like it wants to go higher. So there it goes. Just you could tell that someone's buying this. Now you know who is, and boom goes the dynamite. So maybe to Adara's point, if there's some heat coming out of Open Door, which look, I mean, no doubt, like like he probably notices that maybe that pump, let's call it what it is, right? I mean, you go from 50 cents up to $11, like that's a good move. Their earnings weren't even crazy. And now this is losing a little bit of steam, so let's go find the next sort of thing to go with. And again, congratulations to anybody that hit that early or somehow had the same intuition as Mr. Eric Jackson. He seems like he's right again, nailed Carvana. Looks like Open Door was obviously a great success for them, and let's see what winds up happening there with BETR. All right, a couple more minutes, then we got the popular segment to go through.
Yeah, people in the chat. I think Jameson called out UNH a couple of times. I did have eyes on. Finally, I'm taking a look at it as it comes into prior day's highs right there, clipping it by, let's see, by how much? 340.93 was Friday's high.
Not played.
Today's high, 340.90. So just away by like 3 pennies on UNH. So nice little grind up on that one. Decent relative volume in the pre-market. I didn't really see what was going on in and around here. But again, nice little push right back up through VWAP and holding that prior day level as well on UNH. So nice little push. On that one, yeah, exactly. Thomas K is saying don't be mad. It's just $1 extra on Apple. I'm not mad about Apple. I'm just like, yeah, I could have definitely traded a little bit better. I was aggressive exactly where I wanted to be, and I got out on the action that I was looking for. A little bit of what I thought was a bit of exhaustive action into the 252s. But guess what? The buying is still definitely there, and this is what I talked about. I talked about how Apple was started off initially as a C trade for me, because I'm just like, okay, well, I did get in a little earlier, but yeah, it ended up working out, and it's continuing to work out as of right now, as the market continues to push even higher. So do we see that 25,000 mark on the Nasdaq today? That's what I'm curious about, but very, very strong start off to the week, and I think we have Adara with some breaking news.
ING and S Genius Group, this is a penny stock trading right now around 93 cents. Volume just over 1 million shares in the day. It actually just got some volume in right now because the company's CEO, who is very active on X, just denied some reports that apparently were saying the company was considering a reverse split. I hadn't seen these reports, but either way, the CEO was saying on X that this is not true. Genius Group is not doing a reverse split right now. GNS has run in the past $74 million market cap. Back to you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, no, I was talking about Apple. Like this was the top idea on Sean's sticky note as well, and it was the first thing that we talked about as well. When I sat down, I was like, okay, that's some strong confluence. Sean's top idea is the same top idea as mine. I can show you. This was my plan from I guess this morning right here, morning trade plan. Let's see if I can kind of zoom it in here. And this is kind of the notes that I've been starting to take in the morning. So for fresh news or anything like that, this was a technical push. So Apple is at the top, but you can see grade a little bit of a C as well. I didn't take the Intel short. That was my second top idea. A little bit of a C plus. You can see that 30 resistance did come in really nicely, and gap down continuation. That's exactly what we did off of the open, and then continuation on Apple. That 250 push right there. Resistance 250, and then a push into 260. We didn't get a 260 just yet, but the trading plan was simple. I was looking for a prior day structure hold, and then a hold of VWAP, and you can see that is exactly what it did off of the open. You can see here let's just go to here. So those were the two criteria that I was looking for: a prior day high hold and a hold of trend as well. So prior day high was all the way down here at 246s. We already started holding that in the pre-market, and VWAP hold, oh boy, since about I guess about 4:15, 4:30 in the morning, we've been holding VWAP and only VWAP since then as well. So strong push off the open gets me involved with the pre-market push. And then look at that, VWAP. We only pull back to VWAP once. That's how good the long was. And a nice little extension happening right now, 253. So yeah, one of the best trades, in my opinion, on the day today was Apple technical breakout. So 3-hour chart right here. Let's just look at what that means by a higher time frame technical breakout. You can see that we've already been turning. We saw the 200 push earlier on a couple of months ago right here. So we know that we've been trending up. Last week we break through that, I guess we start consolidating, we hold the 230, but this is the prior high that I'm talking about right here from February at the beginning of the year. That high was 49.39. So that push came in right off the open through the opening drive. So that, in my opinion, you were asking where do I think is the best place to get in? I think I kind of misgraded this opportunity, to be honest. I said it was a C opportunity, and then I saw it build into a B. But honestly, that technical breakout of a higher time frame, Sean, that point right there was probably the A opportunity, because it went right through and it never looks back. So that's the point where I can risk the most and And if it doesn't work, it'll tell me right away. We talk about some of the best trades ever working right away, and that breakout through that 249 30s to the 249 halves was absolutely beautiful. So that's the
it's the number
review.
one trade idea. Like you said, both you and I came in here and talked about it. Thanks for reviewing all of that. Let's just go. I gotta get to the gym, man. But I was not interrupting you. Okay, today, you know, as a proud second generation Italian Canadian. My dad. I'm the first generation, first Katina male born in Canada.
Nice.
I mean, first generation must be. This is Italian grilled chicken for lunch, so I think there's just a little bit of Italian seasoning on there. Get maybe some oregano. I don't know.
You got to be the judge of that.
Yeah, do I? So Italian grilled chicken with cold pasta salad. I mean, it's been okay. It sounds more like a lunch to me. Don't tell this to Neil because he doesn't like broccoli. Steamed broccoli, and then I saw that the Caesar salad got substituted with something today, but it is Italian grilled chicken, cold pasta, steamed broccoli, and some sort of a salad. Look, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. You know, Adara's been huge with the news. Some of these trades, man, I know you just hit that Apple trade, which is fantastic. We went 3 for 3. And they're all at the highs or the lows right now. Intel continues to be down. Intel's 75 cents in the money. SOFI's $1.17 and Apple's $3.50. Go find me on Twitter. I'll be posting my outs on there as well. So thank you so much for everybody. Great show there, Obi. I'll check you back very, very soon.
Oh boy, it's already 11. I didn't even see that.
Exactly. This is what happens when you're having fun, man, and you're making some money. So thanks, Obi, for coming through.
Thank you
all.
all.
It's the Midday Madness right now. It's Sharif, it's Joseph, and they are ready to go. You guys ready over there?
We'll see you.
Then let's rock and roll this right now. Let's go over to these guys. It's the Midday Show. Ciao till 2.
See ya.